It is 6:01. Good morning, live from the 104.5 The Zone Studios. I'm Justin Hawkins. Big Titans news yesterday as the team informed head coach Brian Callahan that they are letting him go, ending his 23-game tenure as head coach for the football team after a 1-5 start to this season and a 4-19 overall record. The team has named senior offensive assistant Mike McCoy as the interim head coach. McCoy in his first year with the team, but was head coach of the Los Angeles Chargers from 2013 to 2016, where he went 27-37 and one playoff win. Chad Brinker and Mike Borgonzi addressed the media last night, and Chad Brinker explained the decision.
The things that we said in the preseason about we were looking for growth in this football team, and that's what this is about right now, is we're not seeing enough growth from this football team. We're 1-5, and we got to be better in this. And I want to acknowledge the fact that we're all frustrated.
Week 6 of the NFL season wrapped up with a doubleheader of upsets last night on Monday Night Football as the Atlanta Falcons take care of the Buffalo Bills 24-14 as Falcons running back Bijan Robinson had 238 total yards from scrimmage and a touchdown. And then in the nightcap, Chicago Bears upset the Washington Commanders 25-24 on a walk-off Jake Moody 38-yard field goal. For all your foundation repair and waterproofing needs, you got to go to USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home for the Titans and Vols. This is 104.5 The Zone.
Here we go is right. Welcome to your Tuesday morning and welcome to a Tennessee Titans coaching search. Yesterday, the Titans fired Brian Callahan. Today, we react. We hear from Chad Brinker and Mike Borgonzi, who spoke late last night. We talk about names to replace Brian Callahan, and we've got a ton of time to react with you. 4 hours going to fly by on this Tuesday morning. In studio, 615-737-1045. Streaming live on 1045 The Zone TV, Facebook Live, YouTube, Twitter, or Twitch. He is the 11-year NFL veteran involved for life, Ramon Foster. Justin Hawkins at the controls. I'm Will Bowling, live from the 1045 The Zone Circa Sports Studio. Kentucky's largest sports book can now be found at Circa Sports at Kentucky Downs. Ramon Foster, they went ahead and did it. The bandage has been pulled off. The inevitable has happened. Good morning. How are you?
Good morning, man. I felt yesterday, I used the analogy, metaphor, whatever you want to call it. It was almost like a wet Band-Aid in the pool. Like it was eventually going to pop off again. And to your point, they ripped it off, Will, and said, let's go ahead and start this thing over, man. A little shocked. You asked me, I think, towards the latter part of our show yesterday, when do you think? And I said, November, around holidays time. You know, get through this week and figure out what's next. No. Breaking news yesterday about 12 o'clock, well, about 1 o'clock yesterday, Central. And I was shocked, although, yeah, still shocked. You don't imagine it being 7 weeks into the season and right before the Patriots game. I don't know what all that meant or how they felt about it, but the idea that it happened right before that game raised some eyebrows just because of who's coming back to town, and that's Mike Vrabel.
Certainly a change that we all expected. We talked about it yesterday, saying that Brian Callahan was not going to survive this, barring a major change. And obviously his time had run out to facilitate major change. I think Brian Callahan was suited for the job that he had in Cincinnati. And I think that ultimately the Titans gave him the opportunity to step up into a head coaching role, and he was unable to meet that mark and meet that moment. So you move forward, you look for the next coach, you look for stability, and Ramon, every offseason that we've hosted a show together, the Titans have had a major search. And the next step in this, it will be critical to break the cycle of change. Behind Chad Brinker and Mike Borgonzi, whoever this next coach is needs to be here for a while, and so do those two in charge, and Chad Brinker and Mike Borgonzi. You will hear from both of them as the show goes and the press conference they had last night, Ramon, but Amy Adams Strunk ultimately, I don't think, wanted Mike Vrabel to be the one to deliver the final blow. And honestly, it makes sense. It makes total sense that this weekend, not allowing the guy that you fired to bring in the guy that you just fired yesterday to end his tenure as head coach, just go ahead and do it, really makes a lot of sense to me.
I've heard there's one thing that you never do to a billionaire. And again, however this decision was made, whether it was through Chad Brinker, Mike Bergonzi, and Miss Amy, right? Or whoever else, if Burke Nihill was in on this conversation, or however it went, let's just say this. I've been told a lot lately, because you speak about the inner workings of the NFL and the hirings and firings and stuff like that. It's like, it's one thing you don't do to a billionaire. It's one thing they can't stomach, and that's embarrassment. Like, they don't care about spending money. They don't care about, like, losing money. They don't care about having to, hear perception of them. But embarrassment is one thing that I don't think is I guess you can buy away, essentially, is what I'm saying. You can't pay embarrassment away from you. And if you can avoid it and you have that type of flex to do it, you do those type of things right there. Now, that's me projecting. I don't know if the Mike Vrabel coming to town is holistically the idea of this move so quickly, but it is, to your point, another moment in which this team has had a big issue. And since I've been here at this station at about August or September of 2020, before you and I even had a show together, that 2020 year, 11-5, good season for the Titans, first in the AFC South is what I'm seeing right now. Arthur Smith leaves. Now, that's a good departure. That's one of your guys leaving, go somewhere else.
The cost of progress.
It's the exactly. Good progress.
Mm-hmm.
Well, progress is usually good anyway. But then you have just the breakdown of all things. Who's your defensive coordinators was the question. Who's the offensive coordinators? You elevate from within. And then there's the issues of the Green Bay game that happened soon after that. And it's just been a slow-rolling roller coaster ride. I feel like not even a thrill. This has just been a slow roller, get me off of this thing. And every year, especially since we've been doing it, Will, it's been major.
It's been a downward spiral since they were 7-3 after beating the Green Bay Packers on Thursday Night Football in 2022. They lose 7 straight games at the end of 22. They go 6-11 in 23. They hire Brian Callahan. They go 3-14. They earn the number 1 pick, and now they're 1-5. Since then. Since the Thursday night win in Green Bay, it has been a very, very quick descent from the contenders of the AFC to the bottom of the AFC. So whoever is next is tasked to fix it. But to be quite honest with you, listening to Chad Brinker and Mike Bergonzi last night, they are more focused on Mike McCoy, and they're focused on this not being a totally lost season. And I got one of these tweets yesterday, and at Ramon and Will is where you send your thoughts in on Twitter to our show. But the Titans can't afford to just totally punt on 2025 either. And where last year there was a louder conversation to be had about draft pick and positioning yourself and being able to draft a quarterback, well, you have your quarterback. And now the goal is to win, and the goal is to get competent now. You can't just punt on this season and check out if you're the Titans and the organization and the coaching staff and just get ready for 2026 when a new guy is here. These games are going to matter because Cam Ward's development matters. So much so that the guy that was tasked with developing him has been fired after 6 games. This was Chad Brinker's opening statement yesterday, and you and I texted about this the second he took to the podium, because Chad Brinker's got a really big role in this, and clearly Amy Adams-Strunk is empowering Chad Brinker to lead the next phase of what Titans football is going to look like and what this coaching search is going to look like. Here he is yesterday.
The NFL is a good business, but at the same time, it's a tough and unforgiving business. There are days where this game brings us great joy. There's also days where it's tough, and today is one of those days. Brian Callahan is, as you all know, is a man of high character. He's a good man. He's a good football coach. He's got a wonderful family. And Amy has entrusted me to make tough decisions in this organization. And working with Mike and I and meeting with her this morning and talking through all this, we just felt like this was the right time to make a change. Now, that doesn't change the fact that the things that we said in the preseason about, we were looking for growth in this football team. And that's what this is about right now, is we're not seeing enough growth from this football team. We're 1-5, and we got to be better in this. And I want to acknowledge the fact that we're all frustrated. We understand that you, the fan, you're frustrated with everything that's going on. But we're doing everything we can. We will do everything we can to build a football program that you can be proud of. So we do want to wish Brian Callahan and his family the very best. These things are tough because there's relationships involved. There's a human element to all this, so it doesn't make it easy. But we know at this time where we are as a football program, we needed to make a change because we got to start growing and getting better.
That's Titans President of Football Operations, Chad Brinker, opening the press conference last night at Ascension St. Thomas Sports Park. Ramon, we had the same observation.
Yeah.
Right off the top, Chad Brinker is the highest-ranking football executive within this organization, and it sounds like he had a major role in this, and he's going to have a major role moving forward.
No, he's going to have a huge one. Him jumping out front and saying Miss Amy has trusted him to make these hard decisions. That was more telling than I thought. I don't know if we've heard it be said like that. I don't know if we knew that was going to be his role in this one, because it's I feel like a dictionary of roles should be described a little bit further into detail with this group right now, especially between what Chad is and what Mike Berganzi is also, because I thought the role of the GM was to also find the head coach and control the coaches.
Well, he's not the GM.
No, I'm talking about Mike Berganzi.
Oh, okay.
Exactly.
Yeah, sure.
But I thought that was Mike Berganzi's role.
Not here. I mean, he's part of it.
I know.
We will get to what Chad Brinker answered about who is hiring the next coach, because that was an interesting answer as well. But it's not one person making that decision here. In a lot of places, owners make that decision as well. But it's not going to be just solely Chad Brinker or just Mike Berganzi or just Amy Adams Strunk. It is going to be a
collaboration.
Yeah.
A collaboration.
Fine.
It's just been so many. And I know that's but I felt like when he broke up those positions this last time around, that specific groups had certain roles and how they went about it. It does seem to me that Chad Brinker's the head honcho in all of this, and everybody puts their quarter of an opinion in, but it's ultimately his at the end of the day.
Well, I think ultimately, too, it's what fans wanted, right? It's football people making football decisions.
Yeah.
Not an owner making football decisions.
That's very true.
I mean, truly, I think that is what fans have wanted for a long time. Now, Chad quickly rose up the ladder to be able to put himself in the position to make hires like this, but this is what fans have wanted. Just to be honest with you, football executives making big football decisions and then recommending things to the owner. Now, we will never know the inner workings of who really is going to have the final say on who makes this hire, and they're going to want to keep it that way, and for good reason. But Chad Brinker's leading this search.
I think a good question was asked last night. I think it's by our teammate Buck Rising. It asked him, well, you've been through 3 situations like this. Why should we trust your process in doing it? That part of it, I think, was very it was a good question to ask. And I don't think he gave the best answer in it, was honest as you could be about it. But that is how much do you trust his process this time around?
615-737-1045 is our number. We will take a ton of calls this morning. Our only guest of the morning is ESPN's Jeremy Fowler, who will give us the build up to this firing happening. He will also take us through some of the names to watch as the Tennessee Titans head coaching search slowly begins now, but really will obviously ramp up through the offseason. We'll talk with him about the latest around the search and what to expect. Ramon and I are going to give our top 5 names each at 7:20. So that's coming up in a little over an hour on the people that we want. If you don't want to wait in line on the phone lines, the F and Big chat wide open. Facebook Live, YouTube, Twitter, or Twitch. You can search for 1045 The Zone on any of those platforms and get us there. The comment section already very lively, especially on the 1045 The Zone YouTube channel. Much more from Chad Brinker and Mike Berganzi from yesterday's press conference and what ultimately doomed Brian Callahan, the biggest mistakes that led to this change happening yesterday. Ramon Foster, Will Bowling, Ramona Will, fueled by Scooter's Coffee. Hour 1 continues next.
It's Ramon and Will here for Window Nation, and we're in the month of October, and the chilly air is also here with it in this month, man, especially in the mornings and at nights. Perfect fire starter weather, but I'm here to tell you this. You don't want that cold air coming into your home, especially if you got old, stuck, or cracked windows. You can eliminate annoying drafts once and for all with the top quality replacement windows from Window Nation. Window Nation, they have some of the best replacement windows out there, and the best part about what they do is this. Their installation crews can finish a job in 1 day or less, so you can get back to your daily routines with minimum interruption, Will.
And Ramon, this month, when you buy 2 windows, you'll get 2 for free. There is no limit on how many windows you replace, and your total price includes 1 day installation. Make no payments for 2 years, no monthly payments, down payment, and no interest until 2027. That's a big deal with the holidays coming up. Put an end to your window problems before this beautiful fall weather ends. Call them today, 866-90-NATION, or you can schedule a fast free estimate now with the pros at Window Nation, online at windownation.com. That's Window Nation, online at windownation.com.
It's Ramon Foster for All American Pest Control in fall and Middle Tennessee. Love it. Absolutely love it, y'all. Cooler weather, football almost every day of the week, family time. What can you not love about it, all right? But you know who else loves this season? The pests, the stink bugs. I've seen them flying. They will fly directly into your face, up to your windows, your doors, in between the cracks of your doors. I absolutely despise them. But Asian lady beetles, mice, even termites don't slow down just because it's fall time. And that's why I trust All American Pest Control. Their Complete Care Max program provides maximum protection season after season with one simple plan. Listen to me. It's a peace of mind every single time. Call All American Pest Control or visit their website. It's simple, yuckbugs.com. That's yuckbugs.com. And make sure you tell them Ramon sent you.
Ramona Will, fueled by Scooters Coffee on a 104.5 The Zone. Visit a locally owned Scooters location near you today in Rivergate, Smyrna, Brentwood, White House, or Mount Juliet. The mobile app, easy to use. The coffee, excellent. The service, perfect. Amazing people, amazing drinks, amazingly fast. Ramon Foster and Will Bowling on the phone lines at 615-737-1045. What you got there?
I stopped by the store today.
Did you?
There was a comment made about, having 9 Super Bowls.
Uh-huh.
So I put it, 9 rings has kind of been going a little, in between. So, what I did this morning, in order for us to be validated in our conversation about speaking on this situation, I went and bought us 10 rings this morning.
Did you?
I bought us 10.
All right, we've got 10 rings to be able to talk about the Titans head coach search.
I got 10 rings over here. We'll get more into that a little bit later.
What's wrong with you? What's wrong with you?
We're sports entertainment.
Boom. Roasted.
Yesterday, Chad Brinker said we have 9 rings as a part of our front office. We know what it looks like to hire the next head coach. Ramon Foster has bought 10 ring pops. So there you go. There's that.
One for each finger.
That's right. That's absolutely right. So how did we get here? Why now, Ramon? What ultimately failed Brian Callahan? What doomed him? And why are we talking about a new head coach on October 14th?
You brought this up, and my eyes popped wide when you asked that question. What got him here? Okay, losing does it. It's one of the worst things you can do as an athlete. I'm going to be quick with this, too. Losing does it. We spoke about earlier in the season the progress of will it look better? You had an entire offseason of setting this thing up. You went away for 2 weeks, team building. You did dodgeball. You did everything that you needed to get guys to know each other to build that team camaraderie. But then you get to the regular season. Regular seasons matter a little bit more. It's preseason, regular season, postseason. All of them have different levels. The one that got him, I feel like this week, and there's no indication, like no indictment on this guy saying this, but I look at the post-game conversation of one particular guy that I think took this over the top because Chad kept saying there was no growth. Chad kept saying, he said no growth probably 10 times yesterday. And there's one particular interview that did him in my personal opinion, and it was Jeff's.
Mike Borgonzi said at the end of the press conference he did not hear those comments.
Yeah, and that's a lot of stuff I say I don't see, too.
Okay. Yeah, Jeffrey Simmons, if you missed it on Sunday, said that they had their worst week of practice and had a bad day of practice on Thursday leading into the game in Vegas.
Just hearing it, just the understanding of it also, it shows to me that could have been part of the why. Like, if Jeff saw, the executives are there too, or Chad Brinker's a football guy, Mike Borgonzi's a football guy also. Like, they understand that's low energy out there, even if Jeff didn't have to say it after the game.
Honestly, I do think there was a comment Sunday that impacted this decision, but I don't think it was that one.
You don't.
I think it's more about Brian Callahan. I don't think it's anything he said that got him fired, first and foremost.
It's the results, right?
It is obviously it is a results business. It's 4-19 in 2 seasons. It is the development of his quarterback that ultimately got us here. And I thought this was interesting from Chad Brinker because I think Brian and Buck wrote about this at AtoZSports.com. Brian talked about on Sunday about Cam Ward being a part of what needs to improve. We've talked about it. I think Chad Brinker and Mike Borgonzi yesterday very specifically held Brian Callahan accountable for the lack of growth at quarterback and the entire offense. This was Chad yesterday talking about needing quarterback play to be better.
I like to see our quarterback play be better. Like to see the offense, be consistent, more consistent, moving the football. I think I want to see improvement in the defense and offense, but again, we all know what it looks like when we see it. When you see that you're playing complementary football, that the offense and the defense and special teams are playing off of each other. We have yet to put together a complete game in a long time. So, there's a lot of work to do for everyone in this organization.
Chad Brinker talking yesterday.
He separated the 3 phases of the game.
It comes down to quarterback regression. It's not only development, it's not only just staying the same, it's quarterback regression. In the fact that from week 1 to week 6, Cam Ward doesn't look any better. In fact, he kind of looks worse, Ramon. That's why we're here today.
And that's definitely probably the culprit number one in this one, topic number one on the why for sure. But this also is a group that acknowledged that this team wasn't going to be that good this year, too. There was gross wins and losses didn't matter. Also, now, I can agree. All of that can be separate with how Cam looked. I do wonder into this type of decision to have happen. Did they consult Cam, too? Because early in the season, he absolutely loved Callahan. And this is first, spin around the sun with the new NFL head coach, too. I wonder how much of Cam played a part in because I will say this, the franchise quarterback is included in these types of things, even if he's young enough. I do wonder, hey, Cam, we want to talk. How do you feel about Callie? And we'll never know that conversation.
Right.
But the honesty that he could have actually told him to may have played a part in it. I wonder, does he feel like Callahan was holding him back or that the offense wasn't good enough?
615-737-1045, our number as we go to the phones and your reaction to the Titans firing Brian Callahan. Eric in Nashville leads us off.
Hey, guys. Ramon, I definitely agree with you. I think what happened Sunday was the final straw. And the thing is, people say, well, people don't listen to talk shows or anything like that. But the thing is, I was at a function a number of years ago, and Amy Strunk was there, and I got to meet her, and she told me that she recognized my voice because she listens to talk shows. So,
there we go.
So they do listen. They do listen. So, but I definitely think that happened Sunday was the final straw. But here's my thing, guys. Whoever we hire, and I'm not going to throw out names or whatever, it's got to be the right hire. We can't be going through this again, whether it's end of the year or next year. I don't want to come back a year or two later and then find somebody else, because now, whether it's fair or not, we're becoming known as a franchise that's dysfunctional, and I don't want that, guys. You got to have some sort of stability, build around Cam. I just don't want to come back down the road and say, well, let's get rid of this guy. You got to fire somebody. Guys, hopefully it'll get better. I'm going to be at the game Sunday, and hopefully we won't have any rain, because that would be just ironic that we have storm clouds now for Sunday for the game. But I've heard that we may have bad weather. Guys, tighten up. Y'all take care, and we'll talk again soon.
Thank you, Eric. No, we know they listen.
Yeah.
No doubt. No doubt.
Oh, yeah, we do know that.
Chad Brinker talking about whose decision it was. Justin, if we can go to that next. I thought this was interesting yesterday. And again, we'll play a ton of this press conference since it was so late and we didn't have a show on immediately to react to it. We're kind of first up on a lot of what we heard last night at 7:30. But this was Chad Brinker talking at Ascension St. Thomas Sports Park, asked, was this Amy's decision?
There was a conversation with, obviously Amy's involved in every conversation that we have. So we had that conversation with Amy this morning. We made that decision collectively.
There you go.
Yeah. It's collectively making it in the morning of. I mean, the West Coast trip, there was no time to talk about it. I just, again, when you speak about collectively making this move, who presented it to her? Or was it all just like an eye look, like you seeing the bull crap that I'm seeing?
I think the front office was certainly a part of it. I do believe what they say there last night, that it was not one person's decision. I don't know if that's always been the case, but I don't know if it was one person's decision. I really do believe them at their word when they say this was a collective call. And I think the front office was certainly a part of it. And everything that we've heard, Chad Brinker led the charge on this, with Mike Bergonzi and obviously Amy Adams Strunk, the owner, being a part of it.
If they'd have lost at Arizona, would it have happened last week?
That's a good question.
You know?
I don't know.
0-5 at the time. Would it have happened last week? And it's just a complete, at this point, 180 from the conversation when Coach Brian Callahan was hired to where he is right now. Like, Chad Brinker said he believed in the process when it came down to finding him. He was the first-time head coach that needed to grow. He was a guy that he felt like would come into his role. And I'm just thinking to myself, like, 18 months 19, 20 months of just being on the job and not really having a strong opportunity, considering your quarterback play last year with Levis or his offense.
Yeah.
We don't know now at this point because the offense hasn't improved. Nobody has taken a bigger step other than, I think, still Peter Skoronski.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody's actually taken a big step. J.C. Latham looked bad even this past weekend. Lloyd Cushenberry comes in as one of the top centers in the league. Now, I know he had the Achilles injury, but, like, where's what you saw for him? Zeitler looks bad right now. Like,
it was a matter of when, not if.
When,
like
not
we
if.
talked about yesterday. I do think that Amy Adams Strunk understands the way some fans perceive her in some of the firings that have been made sooner than other owners would have made them. And I think she showed some extra patience here. I do. That's my understanding, Ramon, of the situation. That's why I'm saying I don't think this was one call. I think front office was ready, and Amy said, all right, fine. That is my feeling on this and the way this goes. And just from the history of what we know about Amy is that she understands what you all think and what you all say. And when I say you all, I do mean the fans. And I think there was really a feeling from ownership and from that organization to try their absolute hardest to break this cycle of firing someone yearly. And I think they waited and waited longer than they maybe would have a few years ago, Ramon. And I think she waited to try to see this process through as much as possible. The challenge with this is, though, Ramon, that it's hard to get in her head when she's not here to talk about it. And that is her right. She owns the team. No one is disputing her authority to make that call herself. But this is now the gray area that we live in when Chad Brinker and Mike Borgonzi are the two people that are sent up there to talk about it.
I'd love to have a one-on-one with her. I met her recently. She was super nice, by the way.
And that's her right. I mean, again, like, that's the way this works in professional football. And a lot of people don't like it. Reporters don't like it. I understand. I think everyone's feelings on that are valid. But ultimately, that's the situation we've been dealt. We don't have an answer on what the timeline was like and who said what. We can only speculate based off of the information we've been given.
I honestly don't think you said they had patience to wait a little bit longer. Well, this is only, 2 years of this? And just looking at like how it's unfolded here, I'm thinking to myself, well, it's only 7 weeks into the new season that he's the head coach here. Like, I don't see that being patient when you view his time, because the other part, and I found my notes finally, Chad Brinker said that Brian hadn't grown enough in this process, but as a first-time head coach, like, how's he not grown? And he's also a first-time head coach. When I look at situations like Zach Taylor, and I look at situations like Stefanski, when I look at situations like Detroit's coaches who went through a similar pathway that they said also that they see some semblance of how they would want this process to be, and then you cut it short again. Like, and then he also acknowledged, Brinker too, that the process was right. That is a strong validation that you did have it right. And how bad did it get? Was it the team is just that bad also, that it doesn't allow anybody to make progress? And if that's the case, then is that fair?
615-737-1045. Omar is in Nashville next. What's up, Omar?
What's going on, Ramon and Will?
Morning.
Morning.
Morning. Hey, man, I just wanted to tune in on Chad Brinker, man. Like, dude, this guy right here has sold the fan base on getting a competent pick for the head coach. And yet he was the same guy that, read off to the fan base when he hired Brian Callahan, said that he checked off every box. And yet you want this same guy to go out here and choose another head coach. And yet, man, like, the whole time during this press conference last night, he's over here having a nudge on Mike Borgonzi, like, hey, man, you speak up. But, yeah, that's kind of weird as this guy's supposed to be our GM, you know what I'm saying? But has no pull or say-so when it came to that press conference. That's all I had to say, man, on that.
Thank you, Omar. Appreciate the call. Yeah, the dynamic of who talks when was unique, to say the least, but that's where they're at. I mean, that's how they've decided to go about this, and we're going to see if it works.
That's what we are. Gotta see if it worked. Yeah, Borgonzi's interjections at times was just like, I don't know. I didn't know if it was necessary or not, unless, like you said, the optics of it being a collaboration. Because Borgazzi didn't have long sentences. It's always like, why am I here? Yeah. That's the way he looked up there. Like, why am I here?
Mike is in Nashville up next. What's up, Mike? Good morning.
Hey, guys. How you doing?
Good morning.
Morning. Just want to call in and talk about the firing of Callahan. I think it's a good thing that the organization did it. I think one of the things in business I was always taught is you hire slow and fire fast, And, if you want to say Callahan was the average, coach and hire, the timeline is 2 to 3 years if it doesn't work out. And if, the people that are in charge of hiring and getting our next coach, if they've been doing this for a while and have good intuition and, I wouldn't let prior decisions, prevent you from delaying, a good decision and letting him go. Yeah, it's been crazy, the carousel that we have, and I'm with Will where I want it to stop. But I do think we need to hire slow, take the time and find the person and fire fast. And I think we probably need to have the same philosophy with our quarterback. I hear, hey, give him 2 to 3 years, but that's kind of the outlier. I mean, if you take the top 10 quarterbacks in the NFL, most of them showed their colors their first year. The Baker Mayfield, the Sam Darnolds, those are the outliers.
I agree.
So I hope we have the same attitude with Cam as well. I want Cam to succeed, but I hope we do have the same attitude, and I want you guys to talk about that.
Yeah, thank you, Mike. That's not the case, though, with number 1 overall pick quarterbacks, right? I mean, number 1 overall pick quarterbacks don't always show their colors in year one. That's just not the way this works. I disagree with that.
He mentioned Baker Mayfield, so I went to 2018 just to see what it looked like. He started 13 games. He was 6-7 in those games, 3,700 yards, 27 touchdowns, and 14 interceptions. Now, he plays for the Browns, so is that part of it, too, that plays into it.
I've got and we're going to do this at 8:20, but I've got all of the quarterbacks whose coach got fired as number 1 overall picks as rookies.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't really affect them the way you think it does. There were some really good year twos. Just one of them, for example, year one was Sean McVay, Jared Goff in 2017 after being picked number 1 in 2016. Went 11-4 in 15 starts, completed 62% of his passes, took 25 sacks the whole season. Cam's taken that many this year.
Oh, right.
100.5 quarterback rating, 3,800 yards. Baker Mayfield in 2019 with Freddie Kitchens had 3,800 yards, 22 touchdowns, 21 picks. Trevor Lawrence with Doug Peterson in 2022 went 9-8, won a playoff game, threw for 4,000 yards, 25 touchdowns, 8 picks. So firing a coach of a number 1 overall quarterback in their first year is not the fatal blow to their confidence that I think it's perceived to be, because the right quarterback is going to be fine. It's going to be developed by the right coach, which you also got to hire as well.
That's what I was wondering. We were happy to see Freddie Kitchens up in Cleveland.
Well,
I know that much.
Alabama Hate Week. You're celebrating it right. 615-737-1045 is our number. We'll start with Mike in Cleveland. We'll get to your phone calls coming up next. What's up? It's Will Bowling. Put League Company on your team and stay ahead of the game with home maintenance, repairs, and more. For as little as $14 a month, become a League Company Plus member and receive 4 annual visits to your home for your heating, air conditioning, plumbing, and electrical systems. Even better, League Company Plus members receive up to 20% off on every visit, and they enjoy priority service. You can learn more online at leaguecompany.com/plus. Platinum home protection starts with a League Company Plus membership. And when you put League Company on your team, you get the very best players who are available 24/7, 365. And when you trust them for just as little as $14 a month with League Company Plus, you stay ahead of whatever Mother Nature can throw at you here in Middle Tennessee. 615-567-1000 is the number to call. Or again, you can head online to leaguecompany.com/plus. That's League Company, all you need. Ramona Will, 104.5 The Zone, fueled by Scooter's Coffee, loaded phone lines, talking Titans and Brian Callahan. As we go next to Mike in Cleveland, wrapping up hour number 1. Hey, Mike, what's
Morning,
up?
Mike.
Fellas,
How we doing?
what's up with you?
Not much. Good
I'm all
morning.
right, man. Yeah. Good morning. Yo, so it happened. You know, yesterday my phone call was pretty much how they could go ahead and let them go. So they did that. So, you know, I'd like to thank Jeff Simmons, and also you should be thanking me because obviously they're listening to me now. So,
Thank you, Mike.
Thanks, Mike.
But no, on the serious side, on the for real, I'm not somebody who's like, yo, fire Amy. Amy should sell the team. I think that's asinine, if I can say that on air.
Yeah, you can.
Really dumb. Yeah, for our fan base to be screaming that, given everything it took for Amy to step in. Now, but this is what I will say, man. The messaging, how they're selling things to us, the fans, it's horrible, yo. It's so obvious. I mean, I'm going to echo what Omar said on his phone call. Brinker is obviously the GM. Now, true enough, Berganzi, he's playing the role, but like you said, it was like clear as day. He was looking like, why am I here? It was even to the point to where Berganzi was like Brinker's parrot, just repeating what Brinker said. So, and then like when they brought Callahan in, we got sold wolf tickets on what his capability was and what he was going to bring to us. So, they really need to fix the message. Right now, the front office is the head story. Right now, the front office, them in the front office, that's overshadowing even who's going to be the coaching hire. That's what we're all talking about is Brinker. So, Brinker, if you're the GM, be the GM, homie. Quit playing this game looking for fall guys because it makes you look like even bigger of a snake. Or a used car salesman, dog.
Mike, real quick before you go, because I'm just curious, is there anything they could say that you feel like would make you feel better?
I think obviously either Brinker is the GM and is running the coaching the coaching hire,
sure,
or Brinker has stepped completely back and Berganzi is in total control. And Miss Amy is the owner. She's there like any other owner, but Berganzi is the guy. But this dog and pony show that they're running, for lack of a better term, where Brinker very obviously is like using fall guys. That's what it looks like. Like, dog, you look like a cobra right now. If you're the GM, if you're the man in charge, be the man in charge. If you're not, then step away, homeboy, and stay up there in the offices. Because right now, y'all are overshadowing everything, especially with a long losing record. So that's all my comments. I love y'all. God bless y'all. Doses.
No doubt.
Appreciate the call. How do you feel about that?
I get what he's saying. As far as it seems to be the ones who are making decisions are putting them off on everybody else. And not just that, like I said, the messaging of what they are and what this process has been and what the fans have been sold. I'll be honest with you. I can feel their frustration, and that especially when Callie was hired and then others were brought in. Well, this guy's the smartest guy out there. Callahan was a hot hire at the time, too. He was a name. We cannot minimize that.
Yeah,
he was a name. And for them to oversell how good he was, how they checked every box, it was a lot of optimism. And maybe that's appropriate in every coaching hire, but this one sounded as if it was just going to hit, like you were on a 10 on a treadmill and you're going to hit the ground running. That's the way I feel like Mike is trying to say you're being sold stuff as a fan.
Yeah,
and it didn't happen that way.
Let's go to Mike in White House. We've had a lot of Mikes on the phone lines this morning, just like we've had a lot of Mikes coach the Tennessee Titans over the years. What's up, Mike?
Hey, guys. Good morning. We are everywhere.
You really are.
Hey, so, in regards to checking the boxes, I just kind of wonder, like, what were the boxes that were checked? Because, he had very minimal knowledge of some of the most basic NFL rules. You go back to, like, who don't know that one elbow equals 2 feet? Yeah. His situational football awareness is terrible. You know, when you're backed up on your own goal line with 40 seconds left before the half is over and you pass the ball 3 times, let the guys come down and score before the half. I mean, you know, it's not just a bad offense. It's also bad decisions that he's made, lack of knowledge. You know, you're in the NFL for this long. I mean, people sitting on the couch know that. Everybody's screaming at the top of their lungs, it's a catch, challenge. But so having said that, I'm glad that they finally decided to do that, but I would like to know what their vetting process was. But I'm going to throw my name in the ring for the next head coach. I'm gonna put out there for Joe Brady, and I'm going to hang up and listen and see what y'all say.
Okay.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you, Mike. We are going to give our top 5 names for the job at 7:20. Joe Brady is on my list.
Mm-hmm. Mine too.
I'll go ahead and reveal he is my favorite of the never been a head coach before options. We'll talk about what that means and how willing we are to go down that path. But he is my favorite of those options, to be fair. There is new reporting out this morning, Ramon, that we can get to coming up next. Mike Silver has a piece in The Athletic that quotes a Raiders executive or a Raiders coach, I believe it is, on what he saw from the Titans on Sunday. There is talk about Cam Ward within this, about organizational structure. The title of this piece at The Athletic, Cam Ward got dropped into the Titans' den of dysfunction. Can he make it out? And some things we can take away from this that we learned this morning from Mike Silver in The Athletic. And we will bring you those nuggets coming up next.
It's Ramon Foster for Hiller Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electrical. You guys know how it is having a house and having issues around it. Nobody wants to deal with a plumbing, HVAC, or an electrical emergency at all. Most of the time, you don't know what it's going to cost or if it'll get fixed right or if somebody's trying to sell you something you do not need. We've all been there. You get to the checkout and guys ask you, hey, do you want us to do this? Should we do this for you? No. When you call Hiller, the expert's going to solve your problems quickly, okay? And the price that you're told is the price that you will actually pay. There are no hidden fees or surprises when you get your bill. They bring the tablet to you. They show everything that they did inside of your home. They itemize everything about it. They tell you the service charge, and they tell you about your warranties and all things included in them doing work inside of your home. They've also been in business for over 35 years and are family owned and operated too. Their techs, this is the coolest part, man. They're professional, experienced, trustworthy, and they're all background checked and drug screened too. And when they're on their way, you'll get a photo of the tech and a link to track them in real time, so no more wasting time. Their motto is, happy you'll be or the service is free. To learn more about Hiller like I do or to book with them, simply visit their website at happyhiller.com.
Selling your home can be stressful, but it doesn't have to be. Get a guaranteed offer from Mark Spain Real Estate. There are no showings, no open houses, no stress. Work with the #1 real estate team in the U.S. and close with confidence. Go to markspain.com today.
7:01, good morning, live from the 104.5 The Zone Studios. I'm Justin Hawkins. Big Titans news yesterday as the team informed head coach Brian Callahan that they are letting him go, ending his 23-game tenure as head coach of the Titans after a 1-5 start to this season and a 4-19 overall record. The team has named senior offensive assistant Mike McCoy as the interim head coach. McCoy is in his first year with the Titans, but he was head coach of the San Diego Chargers from 2013 to 2016, where he went 27-37 with one playoff win as well. President of Football Operations Chad Brinker and General Manager Mike Bergonzi addressed the media last night, and Brinker explained their decision.
The things that we said in the preseason about we were looking for growth in this football team, and that's what this is about right now, is we're not seeing enough growth from this football team. We're 1-5, and we got to be better in this. And I want to acknowledge the fact that we're all frustrated.
Week 6 of the NFL season wrapped up with a doubleheader of upsets last night on Monday Night Football as the Atlanta Falcons take care of the Buffalo Bills 24-14 as Falcons running back Bijan Robinson had 238 total yards of offense from scrimmage and a touchdown. Then the Chicago Bears upset the Washington Commanders 25-24 on the nightcap with a walk-off Jake Moody 38-yard field goal. For all your foundation repair and waterproofing needs, you got to go to USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home for the Titans and Vols. This is 104.5 The Zone.
Ramona Will, fueled by Scooters Coffee, rolls into hour number 2 on this Tuesday morning. 615-737-1045. Got a couple of lines open that we will get to coming up in just a moment. He is Ramon Foster. I'm Will Bowling at Ramon and Will, where you follow the show on Twitter and follow us at Ramon Foster, at Will_Bowling. Justin Hawkins is our producer. Coming up in 15 minutes, our top 5 choices to be the next head coach of the Tennessee Titans. We will give you in order 1 through 5. Plans A, B, C, D, or E on the next head coach. Ramon, The Athletic has some reporting out this morning.
Yeah.
From Mike Silver, titled, Cam Ward got dropped into the Titans' den of dysfunction. Can he make it out? The nuggets in here that are interesting, talking about Cam, talking about Chad Brinker, talking about the organization. Amy Adams Strunk's flurry of firings has claimed 2 coaches, Mike Silver writes, and 2 general managers, which each of the 4 moves occurring separately. During that stretch, the owner also abruptly promoted Chad Brinker from assistant general manager to president of football operations, dramatically altering the chain of command. We'll bookmark that because, again, further confirmation, Chad Brinker is the highest-ranking football person in the Tennessee Titans organization. Says, though Brinker and his hand-picked general manager, Mike Bergonzi, have preached patience and a franchise-building approach focused on stability, Monday's move was a reminder that disruption remains the organizational norm. One Raiders coach said of the Titans game against Las Vegas on Sunday, quote, that might be the worst team I've seen in the last 25 years, end quote. Goes on to say, quote, they don't have any difference makers other than Jeffrey Simmons, and the whole thing was a total mess. During an extensive interview last Friday with The Athletic, Cam Ward made no attempt to walk back his "we ass" quote that we heard after the Houston loss, saying, I didn't care, he said of the fallout. It was true, that's how we played those previous weeks, but I think the biggest thing is that nobody in the locker room pointed fingers, we just kept working. Let's pause there. Anything you want to react to out of the first half of this article from Mike Silver?
That first part where he says the worst roster he's seen as a 1-4 team, him damn self. That's speaking volumes of one, their process of bringing guys in, their methods of coaching guys, the operation of calling plays on game day, and just the organization in general. Like, when you have your peers saying it's about you in the spirit of competition, that sucks. And then if he said that's one of the worst rosters, only one person you want on there, I know I said the other week, there's no fairness in sports. You are or you're not. And it's just that simple, below the line or above the line. But you do have to ask that question, would you take this job knowing how unfair you'll be judged on trying to make lemonade out of lemons, essentially? If you only want one player off this roster, and that's Jeff, I know fairness isn't a thing in sports and in business, but how fair is this job?
That's one of 32, and you have Cam Ward. Because I think there's more than one player you want to work with, even though only one player is elite right now.
But even
two things can be true.
You're going to go into the second part of this article where you speak about a second-year guy that got called out.
I will. Absolutely. There are comments about the Jeffrey Simmons quote. And within this article, again, it's quoted, Jeffrey Simmons telling reporters Sunday after the loss in Vegas, "In this league, you have to learn how to be able to stack wins and carry that momentum over. It started at practice," Jeff said, if you missed it. "Just being honest, this was probably one of our worst weeks of practice. We came out flat Thursday. Sometimes things carry over." Again, Mike Borgonzi said on the record yesterday he did not hear that comment. Well, according to several witnesses, according to Mike Silver of The Athletic, Jeffrey Simmons stopped Thursday's practice to point out what he considered a poor showing by second-year right tackle J.C. Latham, who had missed the previous 4 weeks with a hip injury. Quote, "I've watched you for the last 10 plays, and this ain't it. We need more from you." That's Mike Silver in The Athletic saying Jeffrey Simmons told J.C. Latham that, stopping practice on Thursday.
I'll back up on my comments earlier about Jeff's comments being damning. He can say whatever he wants to if he calling guys out in practice like that. It's one thing to be like Tua and not taking blame or ownership for your bad play. But if you're trying to correct bad play before you even get to the game day on Sunday, and Jeffrey was, according to this article, Mike Silver's a very credible guy.
Yes.
Very credible guy.
Absolutely.
If his sources and witnesses are correct on Jeff stopping practice and telling a young fella what you're supposed to, this ain't it, then that's damning of, now he's not here, Coach Bill Callahan, the offensive coaches, and just the entitlement that's given to guys that just, okay, I'm just supposed to be this way. There's a level, and I tell most people, there's a level of strain that have to go into being good. And Jeff sees that clearly. He's fed up with that type of crap. That's nuts. And then the other part that sucks even worse, him calling him out, stopping practice, and then he gives up bad plays on Sunday from Max Crosby. Injured or not, right? I don't know if he still's got the growing injury or not, but you know my rules on that. You walking across those white lines, I don't care. You putting your product out there. You walk across the white lines, injured or not, you tell me you're good when you go in the game like that.
One organizational source tells Mike Silver of The Athletic, quote, "There hasn't been a lot of alignment in this building, but if there's one thing that everybody agrees on, it's Cam Ward." There's your positive nugget in this, that there is certainly alignment on who the quarterback is and on the decision they've made. And now, Ramon, everything about what they do next is in order to set Cam Ward up for success. That is priority one in who they hire to be the next head coach. Travis is in White House next up. What's up, Travis?
Hey, what's up, guys? How y'all doing, man?
Good. How are you?
Fantastic. Listen, this is my theory. This is all Amy Adams Strunk. This was her call. I'm talking to Fire Callahan today, right now. There's been plenty for Callahan to be fired about before today. If we weren't playing the New England Patriots and the New England Patriots were not coached by Mike Vrabel this season, Callahan would still have a job in Tennessee. They would have rolled the season out with whatever they got, made a change at the end of the year. But because of this game coming up this week, there was no way she was going to risk any level of unbelievable embarrassment to face that dude that she fired. And here's the guy replacing him, looking like a total, just totally inept at his job. She wasn't going to lose to him. She called that meeting. Listen, I don't know that. I don't have sources, but I'm saying she called that meeting and said, hey, I am not doing this. So, hey, that's my take. That's my theory. I'm going to hang up. I'd love to hear y'all's comments on that.
Sure.
No doubt.
Thank you, Travis.
Quickly, I'll say this. She ain't making the picks. She ain't coaching them. Now, is she being told? We said this. I said this weeks ago. Who's giving her the information about the people that they're bringing in the buildings? That's if you want to blame her for that, but you got to ask who are the people giving her the information on who's being brought in the building also, if that's the case, because she's not making the picks. The guys who are failed first round draft picks, that's not her directly. It's a representation of her business, but that's not her directly. Like,
she's
I know what you're
empowering
getting
people
at.
to hire those people. I mean, ultimately, she is accountable for them.
She is accountable for them, but like, how much knowledge of what they're doing does she know?
Mike Berganzi and Chad Brinker said yesterday they meet every Monday.
So, again, is it Mike Berganzi and Chad Brinker's fault, though, that it's like this? Or Rand or J-Rob or
shared
whoever
responsibility
else at this point?
from all of them. Yeah, 100%. Kevin is in Connecticut. Up next. What's up, Kevin?
Hi, how are you? Thanks for taking my call.
Yep.
Been a Titans fan for 23 years. I thought the Wisenhunt times were tough. This is tough times. But I did want to make a comment about Mike McCoy. I don't know. I call me crazy, but I think this has Mike Mularkey written all over it. I only say that because I think, and I'll be the first one to say it, I think we come out and win on Sunday. I know that's bold, but I think a lot of questions are going to be answered Sunday, that it was Callahan holding the team back. I think he was calling plays scared when he was a play caller. I think a lot of questions are going to be answered Sunday. And I don't think it's out of the realm of possibilities, because everybody forgets when Mularkey took over for Wisenhunt and then got the head coaching job. I know it's not an attractive thing, but I think Mike McCoy could be the spark we're looking for. And I think if the offense looks competent and everything works out well and we start stacking up some wins, I mean, he maybe could be the head coach next year. I just wanted your guys' take on it, but I think this has Mike Mularkey written all over it. Thanks again for taking my call, guys.
Yeah, thank you, Kevin. I don't see Mike McCoy as a top-tier candidate for this job.
Not on this one.
No, he's not been a head coach or even a play caller in quite some time. He was the Cardinals OC most recently in 2018. He was the Chargers head coach from 2013 to 16. He is also too similar to Brian Callahan, and he was kind of Brian Callahan's mentor for a lot of his career when they spent time together in Denver.
Mm-hmm.
I appreciate the call, Kevin, but Mike McCoy is not one of the leading candidates for this job.
I talked to a couple of people about him because I ain't know a whole bunch about him anyway. The folks I talked to say he's just going to be a great manager of the coordinators.
He's done the job before, and yeah. I understand why they gave it to him instead of Bones, because special teams is playing the best out of any unit on this team, and I don't think you want to tinker with that if you don't have to. So don't give Bones additional responsibility and then in turn maybe hurt the one unit on the field that is playing the best, which is the special teams unit. 615-737-1045. We will get back to your phone calls in just a moment. But coming up next, Ramon and I's top 5 names to be the next head coach of the Tennessee Titans after this. All right, here we go. Brian Callahan has been fired. The Titans have an opening for a head coach. And we've got top fives for you. Ramon Foster, Will Bowling, at Ramona Will, where you follow us on Twitter. He's at Ramon Foster. I'm at Will_Bowling. We'll get back to your phone calls in just a few minutes. And again, ESPN's Jeremy Fowler going to join us at 8:45, so stick around for that. Let's start from the broad qualifications perspective, Ramon. What are the qualities that you are going to value most if you are Chad Brinker, Mike Borgonzi, and the Titans organization as they hire this team's next head coach?
Let's start with experience on the job, actually.
Bingo.
Yes.
Bingo.
Actually doing the job. That's why I have a guy probably lower than you have because of that situation right there.
Okay.
But experience on the job has to be top of the list for the most part. I'm all about being new. I'm all about being in the real conversations of you developing guys, not just you being around the party anymore.
Sure.
I think being around the party is what Callahan was for the most part when you look at his ability to, rise up the coaching world pecking order. But you got to be in it, actually calling it, experience some real highs, knowing how to deal with the lows too. And that's kind of where I'm starting mine off on this one.
Experience matters for the next head coach. I have one member of my top five who's not been a head coach of the NFL before. We can't be doing this in 2 years again.
Same.
We cannot be doing this. And you have to have someone who knows how to do the job and is not learning on the job because Cam Ward's future depends on it. And if Cam Ward is going to be maximized as the franchise quarterback of this team, experience is not everything, but it is the most important thing, in my opinion, in making this hire. So number 5, Ramon, let's start there. We'll go back and forth from 5 to 1 in terms of our top choices to be the next head coach of the Titans. Who is your 5th option?
My 5th option is because he honestly thinks like me. He has no experience as far as being a head coach, but he does as a play caller. He lives by this motto, man, of the team that he's with, and you can kind of see it if his quarterback calms the hell down, but it's Joe Brady. Joe Brady's mindset for his offense is everybody eats. That's his motto for his team.
Interesting. I didn't know that about him.
Yes, he lives by that. It's the way he is as a coach, man. Now, zero experience. That's why he's 5th on my list. I think he's going to be a hot commodity when it comes down to it. He's seen Buffalo get better with Josh Allen. I feel like the way he's calling that offense is a part of it, too. What I'm saying is this. You see creativity for a team that already has good athletes. I think whoever takes this job is going to have to be creative as heck because as it stands right now, there isn't a whole lot of high-caliber talent here to make plays for you. He's 5.
Joe Brady is on my list. He's not 5. He's higher up, and I'll explain why in a few minutes. But again, if you are unfamiliar with him, Joe Brady was the offensive coordinator of LSU's national title-winning team under Ed Orgeron with Joe Burrow as quarterback. He spent 2020 and 2021 with the Carolina Panthers. He was fired 12 games into the 2021 season. His quarterbacks that year, Sam Darnold, who started 11 games, Cam Newton, who started 5 games, and P.J. Walker, who started 1. They were 29th in scoring offense and 30th in total offense. Joe Brady is very well respected in college circles. He was immediately picked up by the Buffalo Bills and was made offensive coordinator there, 4th in total offense in 2023, 10th in 2024. So far this year, 2nd in total offense. I saw someone in the F and Bank chat earlier say that Joe Brady is Brian Callahan 2.0. That's not fair at all. Joe Brady is a play caller, and for a defensive head coach, when Sean McDermott as the head coach of the Buffalo Bills, Joe Brady is the head coach of that offense. And he is a lot of the facilitator of that offense improving despite major receiver talent as well. So I'll talk more about Joe Brady, but yes, I do definitely think that he is the top candidate of those who have not been head coaches before. My number 5 is Cliff Kingsbury, who went 28-37-1 in 4 years with the Arizona Cardinals. Cliff Kingsbury had never had major team success as the head coach at Texas Tech. But if I'm going on best schematic fit in terms of the offense that he has always run and the quarterback that is here, he would be number one.
Mm-hmm.
Now, that's not everything. It's important to have a good fit for Cam Ward, but Cam Ward's not always going to be the quarterback here, and you can't just bring someone here because their offense fits Cam Ward. Top 10 offenses in yardage in 2020 and 2021, but never in scoring. Cliff Kingsbury was fired after a 4-13 season in 2022. He did win 11 games in 2021, and he took 2023 off of coaching. He had the worst defense of the NFL in 2019, but they did get better the next two seasons. In 21, when he won 11 games, Kyler Murray started 14 games that year and threw for 3,700 yards.
Yeah.
Completed 69% of his passes. Has he learned enough from what didn't work in Arizona? I'd have to get a good answer to that if I was interviewing him, but I think Cliff Kingsbury is certainly someone you talk to and is certainly on the short list. Number 4, Ramon, for you is whom?
I got a couple projectables in my list, if that makes sense to you.
What do you mean?
What I think is going to happen as far as fired coaches.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Coaches you think will become available.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, number 4 then.
Kevin Stefanski.
All right.
Think he's been given a bad hand to deal with in Cleveland.
He is on my list as well.
He's won the AFC North. Well, no, not won the AFC North. He's been in the conversation of being a top team. He's won Coach of the Year 2 times. He's had to deal with the quarterback carousel with Deshaun Watson and a long list of others. I think ownership's incorporated themselves a little bit too much into what he would want to do.
Sure.
I'm looking at his ability to also take his team, the Cleveland Browns, to a playoff game.
Twice.
And win in Pittsburgh.
Multiple times, yeah.
They're mostly ready anytime you see them. I just think Cleveland's handcuffing him as a head coach if he was to be available. I got Kevin Stefanski, number 4.
Kevin Stefanski, if Cleveland is fired, is a prime candidate. 2020 and 2023 NFL Coach of the Year. He won 11 games in each of those 2 seasons. And in 23, he did it with Joe Flacco as quarterback. I think Kevin Stefanski is a good manager of people. From people we've spoken to, Ramon, he is a really good person. He is a good coach. He is someone that has done this job in a place that has not given him tools to be successful. 41-49 in 6 seasons. He had the number 10 scoring offense of the NFL in 2023 with Joe Flacco as his quarterback, and that's with playing the AFC North 6 times. That's the other thing, is Kevin Stefanski, even with that roster, might have even had a much better record if he wasn't playing John Harbaugh, Mike Tomlin, and Joe Burrow 6 times a year. So I completely agree with you. I think Kevin Stefanski is a great candidate.
He will skyrocket up if he was available. That's the way I view him.
Agreed. My number 4 is Brian Flores. He is the only coach with a defensive background that I have on this list. Because I think Brian Flores and the issues that he had relating and dealing with Tua Tagovailoa in Miami, I don't think that'd be an issue at all with Cam Ward.
Right.
I know that quarterbacks are still, we were just talking about this off air, quarterbacks are still fragile to an extent, and you do have to handle them differently than you handle the other 21 starters, on offense and defense. Yep. But Brian Flores was 24-25 in 3 years with Miami. He had winning seasons in 2020 and 21 after going 5-11 in year 1. In 2021, he had a winning season despite Tua Tagovailoa only starting 12 games and going 7-5. Jacoby Brissett started the other 5. They were 15th in total defense, 25th in total offense. In 2020, they barely missed the playoffs. They ranked 6th in scoring defense. They forced a league-leading 29 turnovers.
Wow.
Barely missed the playoffs with Ryan Fitzpatrick starting 7 games. The background, he did sue the NFL and 3 teams, Dolphins, Broncos, and Giants, alleging discrimination regarding his interview processes and firing by Miami in 2022. He had an owner that got tired of him in Miami.
Yep.
And I think that Brian Flores, as a defensive mind, as a tough love culture builder, could be exactly what this organization needs.
Looking at 2 separators here, Coach Gruden, Brian Flores, both suing the NFL. Flores is employed. That tells you of his talent.
Tells you. And yeah. Is John Gruden on your top 5?
Hell no.
Yeah, same. Can we pause for a minute and talk about John Gruden? Why is everyone so enamored with John Gruden? Is it the Barstool thing? Is it Tennessee?
It's Portnoy. He's McAfee. He's cool.
John Gruden is a character. Do you guys know the last time John Gruden won double-digit games as an NFL head coach?
Talk to us.
I was 8. It was 2005. It was 2005.
People want cool.
I get that John Gruden's entertaining. I think John Gruden is going to be a college coach sooner than he is going to be an NFL coach. Because I think the reason why John Gruden is no longer an NFL coach is the reason why he's not going to be anytime in the immediate future
He
as
said
well.
at Georgia he wanted to be a college coach.
Yeah, I think if John Gruden was trusted enough in NFL circles, I think he would be in NFL circles right now and not working for Dave Portnoy at Barstool.
And I think he's going to take the NFL through razor blades with this lawsuit, so he ain't getting back in. Allegedly.
Commenter says, didn't he win with the Raiders? Most recently, in 2018, he was 4-12. 19, he was 7-9. 20, he was 8-8. And in 2021, he was 3-2 when he got let go. Last time he won more than 10 games was 2005. I'm good on John Gruden. All right, now that we've paid that off, let's keep moving through more serious candidates. Number 3, Ramon, for you is who?
Number 3 on my list is another one that is giving face on game day. John Harbaugh.
See, all right, I didn't put John Harbaugh on my list because I don't think he's getting fired. If John Harbaugh is available, he's number 1.
He's number 1?
He is number 1 on my list. No questions asked. But I don't think he's going to be available. But go ahead.
Yeah, I put him on there because he's a special teams guy. He knows how to manage both sides of the roster, plus understands what a grit player is, meaning he knows how to go find the type. I think he's been what Baltimore's needed. I also think he's just a coach that will be a chameleon to almost any situation he's in. Again, he's got head coaching experience. He's got an understanding of what he wants out of his team, what it's supposed to look like. He's dealing with a quarterback that was mobile and they adjusted to Lamar Jackson. I look at this situation, it can correlate one-to-one with what Cam Ward needs as a team. He has connections, too. That's another thing I'm looking at this list for. Joe Brady, I don't know what his connections are. But as a coach coming here to Nashville, Tennessee, here's the one thing I do think you're going to have as a head coach candidate for this team. Your Rolodex, if you use them, your contacts on your Apple iPhone, on your Android, needs to be long. Your connections on grabbing good coaches that understand their situations. That's where my next 3 are. And John Harbaugh is in that conversation of connections, of hiring the right pieces, especially if he's not going to be the play caller, a direct communication to Cam.
John Harbaugh is my number 1 if he's available. I would be surprised if he gets fired. Wouldn't you?
I would, but it's bad. And I feel like they're growing more and more tired.
Getting tired of it?
Yeah.
Fair enough. My number 3 is Kevin Stefanski for the same reasons you said. I think Kevin Stefanski has been given chicken crap and has made chicken salad.
Yes, sir.
Despite one of the worst trades in the history of the National Football League for Deshaun Watson, he's taken his team to the playoffs multiple times. And I think he has managed that culture. I think he has gotten his staff hires right on defense. You might be able to bring back Jim Schwartz if you brought in Kevin Stefanski, to be honest with you. Coaching your defense, which I know Titans fans are certainly familiar with him and what he does. I think Stefanski would be a great hire.
You know how bad it is for Stefanski? You had Mike Tomlin call out their GM. What is his name?
Andrew Berry.
Andrew Berry. About trading away his starting quarterback in Joe Flacco to an in-division opponent.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
That's how bad it is for Stefanski.
I think he would be an excellent choice.
Yeah.
Number 2, Ramon, is who?
Mike McCarthy. That's self-explanatory. I almost feel like, again, got a long list of coaches that he can call to get to come to Nashville, not just for the destination, but because of the challenge of taking on this job. He's dealt with Green Bay, mess that they've had with Aaron Rodgers and Brett Favre. He's gone to Dallas and done exact same thing with Jerry Jones and Dak Prescott. He's won.
Yep. I'll talk more about that in just a moment.
All right. Well, that's where I was on him, McCarthy.
Number 2 for me is Joe Brady. He is my favorite of the non-head coach experience candidates. He is managing an offense in Buffalo at a very high level as the guy. He is a play caller. He was pivotal in the role of developing Joe Burrow. I know we've gone down that road before with Brian Callahan, but at LSU, Joe Brady had a major part in that. in that LSU offense with all those receivers, with all those weapons. And again, Ed Orgeron being a CEO coach, talking, to people yesterday, Joe Brady is very well respected in the college football community. I think he's very well respected in the NFL community. I think if, Ramon, you put your blinders on and said, what is the best thing right now for Cam Ward? Joe Brady is, again, number one. Given his experience, given the ceiling. The drawback to Joe Brady is there's also a lower floor because he's never been a head coach before. And that is, again, the challenge of going down this road again with someone who has not been a head coach before and trusting that they're going to grow into the job as they learn how to do it. Yeah. There is a major risk associated with that I don't think the Titans should take. But if you're going to take it, that's the guy to take it on.
Understood.
4th in total offense in 2023, 10th in 2024, 2nd so far this year as the offensive coordinator for the Buffalo Bills. He is the hot next guy up coaching quarterbacks in the NFL, and we know how the league feels about those. He could be your Sean McVay if he hits. Talking about Jared Goff having a new head coach after his rookie season. Sean McVay, Kyle Shanahan, those guys are the reasons why you take risks on coaches like this.
No doubt.
And number one, Ramon, for you is who?
Brian Flores.
All right.
A resetter, defensive-minded, a culture setter, a disciplinarian, holds everybody accountable. So much so I think that's one of the main reasons he was let go in Miami. He held Tua accountable. And so much so now they're just in a difference in Tua putting blame as a quarterback on everybody else but him. And I think that is something that would pair well with Cam. I look at Atlanta's head coach right now also being face-to-face with guys the same way that I see Flores would be as a head coach too. Defensively, you get maybe to keep Denard and the product that he's put out there, but also having an eye for what you're looking for. I think him going to Minnesota, Brian Flores, and being under Kellen Moore is by far one of the best things he could have did for his career. He was also in situations where he went to Pittsburgh and was just helping out too. So he's seen different layouts of what winning cultures could be. And as embarrassing as this situation was leaving Miami, and also not taking the money from an owner that offered him allegedly $100,000 a loss. That tells you what you're getting from him. That might be his biggest issue, is you can't boss him into doing what you want him to do.
Yeah.
I don't know how that will fly considering how fluid situations have been here, but Flores is for me.
I think Brian Flores would be great. I think he is the kind of culture setter that would be very valuable to this team, no doubt. My number one's Mike McCarthy. I don't understand why fans turn their nose up at Mike McCarthy.
Mm-hmm.
I had one tweet yesterday being like, well, he can't win playoff games. No, guys, I just want to play a playoff game.
Let's get there first.
Let's get there first before we worry about it. You don't worry about what insurance is going to cost on a Ferrari until you have the money to buy a Ferrari. So, I'm not saying Mike McCarthy's a Ferrari. Mike McCarthy is a solid pickup truck that's going to give you 300,000 miles, is what Mike McCarthy is. 18-year NFL career. He has won 174 games. He's lost 112. He's tied 2. 49-35 in 5 years at Dallas. He spent 13 seasons with the Green Bay Packers, going 125-77. And who was there, Ramon, from 2009 to 2022?
That would be Aaron.
That would be Chad Brinker.
Oh, Brinker.
From 2009 to 2022. McCarthy spent 13 seasons there, 06 to 2018. In Dallas, he went 12-5 each season from 21 to 23. He was fired after going 7-10 in 2024. Number one scoring offense in the NFL in 21 and 23. His scoring offenses have finished, listen to this, Ramon, top 5 11 times in his career since he became the Saints offensive coordinator in 2000. In 24 years, Mike McCarthy has had a top 5 offense in the NFL 11 times. He is a quarterback developer. He knows how to be a head coach. He's not learning how to do the job as he's doing the job. He is a proven commodity. He has a high floor. You know what Mike McCarthy is, and there's not a whole lot of risk associated with him. Do it. I think it's a slam dunk. I think it makes a ton of sense for the stability that this organization needs right now. This team needs someone who's going to be here Not only when the doors open of new Nissan Stadium, but well into the doors opening of new Nissan Stadium. They need stability. Somebody tweeted at me yesterday and said, we don't want stability, we want Super Bowls. Well, you get Super Bowls through stability. And this cycle of firing someone every year is not going to get you there. Mike McCarthy's not going to be one and done or two and done. I think Mike McCarthy's the guy. Your thoughts and reaction to our list, 615-737-1045. If you missed our top fives, we'll also run through them quickly again for you as well. Your thoughts coming up next.
Synergex and Low T Center are the original MVPs of testosterone replacement therapy. What makes them MVPs? Well, to start, they use pharmaceutical-grade testosterone to increase your testosterone to a level that is just right for you. Did you know that other clinics may compound their testosterone so you don't even know what you're getting or how effective it will be? Yeah, we're telling on the other ones, man. It's just not real. Synergex and Low T Center, they are the best ones at it, man. And they have real experts that you can trust for quality care also. And also, they are one of the only providers that accept major insurance. So if you got it, use it. Use that insurance up. You work for it, you might as well. Other clinics and online services, they charge you sky-high prices for testing, labs, memberships. The list just goes on and on. But Synergex and Low T Center, they make it affordable and easy for you to start and stay on your treatment. So again, this is what I'm telling you. Guys, just imagine how much better you will feel when you reignite your energy. Get back to feeling like you again. You know exactly what I mean. Book your appointment now at trtmvp.com. That's trtmvp.com. You'll be excited that you did it.
What's up? It's Will Boulding. My new obsession is Daisy French onion dip. This stuff is terrific. It's my guilty pleasure this time of year, to be honest with you. Whether it's at a tailgate, a watch party, or just sitting around the couch, dips with chips, with wings, with veggies while watching the big game. It is the way that I feed myself this time of year. You got to do it too. Daisy French onion dip and Daisy Ranch dip are a game changer. They're as delicious as a homemade dip, and they're made with real herbs and spices, plus other ingredients you'd find in your own kitchen. Make sure you try some. It's available all around you. Head to a grocery store, pick up some. That's Daisy French onion dip and Daisy Ranch dip at a grocery store near you. Ramona Willow, 104.5 The Zone, fueled by Scooter's Coffee, wrapping up hour 2. ESPN's Jeremy Fowler coming up at 8:45. Lots of your phone calls as the show continues. Ramon, run through, if people just missed it, your top 5 again, please, for next Titans head coach.
My top 5 go like this. Joe Brady, 5. Kevin Stefanski, 4. John Harbaugh, and that's on both of those, Stefanski and John Harbaugh at 3, Mike McCarthy at 2, and Brian Flores is 1.
My top 5, Cliff Kingsbury 5th, Brian Flores 4, Kevin Stefanski 3, Joe Brady 2, Mike McCarthy 1, with the caveat that if John Harbaugh becomes available, he automatically jumps up to number 1. There you go. What do you guys think? 615-737-1045, our number. Justin, what you got?
I'm surprised none of you said Arthur Smith. I know he had a little bit of a downfall in Atlanta, but one of the best offenses in Nashville when his tenure with the Titans, 2019, 2020, and he's off to a really good start with Pittsburgh. You know, I think he's a solid option. It's the same reason why you would go for Kingsbury.
Kingsbury had 11 wins in 21.
Right.
Arthur Smith never had more than 7.
Right.
It's not the same thing.
Well, in terms of the offense, though, he had some struggles.
It's really not the same thing, in my opinion, because the system is not the same. And Cliff Kingsbury, in 3 years as the head coach of the Falcons, his offenses in terms of scoring finished 26th, 15th, and 26th. Cliff Kingsbury's were really solid. Top 10 offenses in 2020 and 2021. Arthur Smith never had a top 10 offense in Atlanta.
My only knock on Arthur Smith is I think he's a better, if I'm using my rankings correct, lieutenant or general than he is. He's a better lieutenant or captain. He's not a 5-star general the way I look at him. Arthur's also been covered, respectfully I see this, by Pittsburgh. The defense, he's got Aaron Rodgers, faced with a similar situation that he had in Atlanta, if we're being honest. Arthur Smith crapped the bed. He got one good year out of Kyle Pitts, and that was it, and he couldn't figure out anything else. Albeit young quarterbacks, but this is the same situation. He may be better the second time around, but I don't think you want to go back and date your old girlfriend because she now broke up with her bad boyfriend.
So you like him better as the OC or just an offensive consultant? Or
OC.
Something? Okay.
Yeah,
OC.
I think he's a good coordinator.
Yeah.
He's not in my top 5, personally. But I'm glad you brought it up because a lot of people have brought that up too. So thank you for saying that. Eric is in Charlotte up next. What's up, Eric?
What's up? How y'all doing?
Good. What up, Eric? Good morning.
Hey, yeah, I like to mess. What's going on, Newt? Man, you know how it is. You know how we doing. I got to mess with y'all though. You know, I said it in week 1, and you said, yeah, by the fans. I said he's fired by maybe. I was wrong. I said after Mike Vrabel come to town, but he did it a week before. I called in January and said, I think the 9th, 10th of 2024. I said, my fear was let Mike Vrabel go. We're gonna be looking for head coaches every 2 years.
Yeah.
But hopefully it doesn't happen. So, to hear y'all dissect these coaches is amazing. I'm going to tell you, as a fan on the outside looking in, you say Kevin Stefanski, we like, what? But the way y'all dissect it is like, dang, that's amazing because you don't think of all of that, when you're up for a new head coach. So anyways, I want to ask y'all, put my 2 guys together and see what y'all think, 'cause I'm old school. But then one of the guys that still has a job, McDaniels from Miami, in terms of OC.
Okay.
And then defensive coordinator as Steve Spag. But I know it sounds crazy, but he got Super Bowl rings. I know it's Mahomes, but he's been able to put a good defense together too. But if Harbaugh, my God, I said this 2 weeks ago, we could get John Harbaugh, which I don't see it happening. But then there's so many, he's really he hadn't won big. He's always consistent in terms of getting to the playoffs. Your one and dones or can't get past the Bills or Chiefs. But Mike McCarthy with the success and John Harbaugh, you don't even have to have interviews. Give them the job. but I let y'all go, man. I love what y'all do. And Will Bowling, I gotta tell you this, man. You on this Brady just as hard as you was with Callahan, and I remember I got an impeccable memory, man. Some of the stuff you say about Callahan's your guy. He's worked with this quarterback, and he's done with
to
this.
Be fair,
Bobby Slowick was my top choice last time around.
He was. I remember Bobby Slowick, and then he was out of there he was out of there
he's
quick.
not even
now,
a
I'm not saying,
so I didn't get that one
but
right.
But Will, I'm not saying you don't know nothing. I love your takes, brother. I love your takes. I want to let you know that. But you real tough. You real crazy about Brady. It's kind of like you was about Callahan, man. Cali going to Cali. But hey, I'll let y'all enjoy your week. But I want to hear what I got to say about Steve and the combination of Steve Spagnuolo and McDaniel. If McDaniel was to be let go.
Sure. Thank you, Eric. Appreciate the call. Yeah, no, I had more faith in Callahan than obviously what worked out. I was wrong on that.
But to Eric's point, to what you just admitted to, and I think all of us, Mike from Cleveland, that's what he was saying. Like, everybody was on the boat and rowing in the same direction, what we thought Cali could be.
Sure.
And I think you're supposed to do that when you're selling a new product. But, like, it does suck. It's shameful on the back end of it to see how quick it went.
To the caller's point, though, to Eric's question about Mike McDaniel and Steve Spagnuolo, I think those are two good coordinators who are not meant to be head coaches, personally. I do think Steve Spagnuolo probably gets an interview, considering his relationship with Mike Bergonzi at the time they spent together in Kansas City. What do you think?
I think Mike McDaniel is the OC. Spag, man, in that position again.
You think he gets an interview is what I'm
Who,
asking.
McDaniel?
No, Spagnuolo, because of his time with Borgonzi.
Absolutely. I think he does. Yes, no doubt about it.
I don't think Mike McDaniel's a head coach.
No.
The only retreads that are currently head coaches that if they got fired, you'd be interested in are Kevin Stefanski and John Harbaugh. I think Stefanski does get fired. I don't think John Harbaugh gets fired. I'd love to be wrong. I would love for John Harbaugh to be the next head coach here. Oh, my gosh. It would be dream scenario.
Yeah.
Dream scenario. Totally loaded phone lines. We will go rapid fire on your thoughts in all of hour 3. 615-737-1045. Again, if you're on hold and you don't have time to wait, you can head to the F and Big Chat, Facebook Live, YouTube, Twitter, or Twitch to get in any of your thoughts there. And the 1045 The Zone YouTube channel, very active this morning as expected. Plus, Chad Brinker asked about, does Amy Adams Strunk understand the turnover issues and where is she? That exchange from Chad Brinker at last night's press conference coming up next. What's up? It's Will Bowling. Hey, I just got done talking about this, so let me remind you again, right? Daisy French onion dip is fantastic, and this time of year during football season, it's really snack season, right? We get a lot of time to come together, to watch sports, to tailgate, to eat in living rooms and parking lots, and chips, dips, wings, and veggies. It's just the best way to snack this time of year or any time of year. Daisy has come out with this delicious Daisy French onion dip and a Daisy ranch dip, and these are a game changer. They are as delicious as a homemade dip, and they're made with real herbs and spices, plus other ingredients you'd find in your own kitchen. So make sure you try some. Go out to a grocery store near you. Check it out. Daisy French onion dip and Daisy ranch dip.
8:02, good morning, live from the 104.5 The Zone Studios. I'm Justin Hawkins. Big Titans news yesterday as changes on the way. The team informed head coach Brian Callahan that they are letting him go, ending his 23-game tenure as head coach of the Titans after a 1-5 start to the season and a 4-19 overall record. The move sparks a fourth change in as many off seasons since back starting in 2022. The team has named senior offensive assistant Mike McCoy as the interim head coach. McCoy is in his first year with the team, was head coach with the Chargers from 2013 to 2016, where he went 27-37 with one playoff win. President of Football Operations Chad Brinker and General Manager Mike Bergonzi addressed the media last night about the change, and Brinker explained their decision.
The things that we said in the preseason about we were looking for growth in this football team, and that's what this is about right now, is we're not seeing enough growth from this football team. We're 1-5, and we got to be better in this. And I want to acknowledge the fact that we're all frustrated.
To the ice, where the Nashville Predators are off to a good start to their season, and that included yesterday's 4-1 win over the Ottawa Senators to improve to 2-0-1 on the season. The Preds are back on the ice tonight as they face off against the Toronto Maple Leafs in Toronto with puck drop at 6 o'clock on ESPN+. For all your foundation repair and waterproofing needs, you got to go to USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home for the Titans and Vols. This is 104.5 The Zone.
Second half of the show, hour number 3, getting started on Ramon and Will, fueled by Scooters Coffee. Visit a locally owned location near you in Rivergate, Smyrna, Brentwood, White House, or Mount Juliet. Amazing people, amazing drinks, amazingly fast. He is 11-year NFL veteran and Vol Network analyst Ramon Foster. Justin Hawkins at the controls. I'm Will Bowling, 615-737-1045, our number. Here in hour number 3, ESPN's Jeremy Fowler will join us. That's in just about 40 minutes. Jeremy, ESPN NFL Insider, gives us the latest on how Brian Callahan was fired, who made the decision, and who could be in the mix next. Looking forward to getting Jeremy on.
I am too. You get a little bit more intel. He had a whole lot more information throughout this course of the year and the last time through. So I'm waiting to hear from him, man, on this one as an insider.
Absolutely right. 615-737-1045. Back to your phone calls. But first, Chad Brinker yesterday was asked, does Amy Adams Strunk understand the turnover issues and where is she? Chad Brinker responded with this.
Yeah, I think this is a very frustrating situation for everybody involved, including our owner. This job will be attractive. I have no doubt about that. But at the same time, I want to keep our focus right now on Mike McCoy leading this football team and focusing on the New England Patriots coming to town this Sunday. And like I said, we'll have plenty of time to talk about those things at a later time.
Where is she right now?
Where? What do you mean?
Where's Amy Adams Strunk right now?
Yeah, she's at her home.
Why isn't she here?
I'm here representing her.
Paul Kaharski with the questions. Tip of the cap to him on asking it.
Yeah.
Fair. Ramon, what was your reaction to that?
My reaction is always like, I will say, I think Amy's gotten too big of a figure as far as like the expectation that she's going to talk. The Rooneys never talk like this. Only I don't know Baltimore owners talk like this. I don't even hear Cleveland or Cincinnati or Miami owners talk like this. She's just become this big figure because we hear about her being, a neck snatcher when it comes down to coaches and stuff. So these are usually GM answers. These are GM pressers and stuff like that. The demand for her is, I'll be honest with you, I don't get it. I can understand the why, but she's not a football person per se. She's an owner. Nobody's asking for the owner of Ford to come out and speak every single time. They got people in front of them to answer those questions. So I know a lot of people ain't going to like me saying this, but I don't need to hear from Amy. If she decides to snatch somebody's neck and fire them, It's her business. She ain't going to sell it. I wouldn't.
And she's not going to sell it, that's for sure. I mean, building the stadium and how profitable it is to be an NFL owner and being one of 32 groups or people that can lead organizations. Yeah, that's not even within the realm of discussion, especially as you're building the city a new stadium with the help of a lot of public money as well, which I think is a reason why fans want to hear from her during a moment like this. We're helping foot the bill for a new building. We are investing in you. Can you invest back in us? I think that's fair.
People like her have people in front of them to take these type of issues.
Absolutely.
Not just her, but all billionaires.
I think it's fair.
But Ramon, it's the 4th straight offseason. That's so many changes. When's the last time an NFL franchise had 4 straight changes, whether it be GM or head coach?
Well, here's the thing about it, though,
if we're just having too many representatives for her and not the actual person that may be behind some of this, and I get Brinker says that he's representing her, but like how much change does he actually have versus the owner when it's 4 straight off seasons?
Chad, to me, put himself on the bullseye target by him saying he speaks for her. He's representation. He's her voice box. So I'll go back to what I said before. I don't have a relationship with Miss Amy, only met her once. What I would say is this. I'm asking the questions to the people who are surrounding her. How are they allowing her to react like this? Or why are they, if she gets livid and gets upset, why isn't there nobody say, hey, Amy, be cool, sleep on it, think about it for a little bit before we make these real quick moves, because your perception is you just fire people quickly. Instead, they react with her in fear of her. But at some point, I'm looking at the people surrounding her again. I know we got calls, but I'm looking at her group and asking, why don't y'all just tell her to be cool for a little bit, man? And let's run this thing like a real business. Or why are y'all continually taking her people that are unproven? Why are y'all continually drafting these bad people? I don't think she's in the boardroom. I don't know if the Rooneys were in the boardroom. I was there for 11 years. It was GMs, coaches, and scouts that are drafting and bringing these people in and free agents. Yes, she going to sign a check, but that's her business. She's supposed to sign the check. I guarantee you, she couldn't tell you a game plan. Only one I ever known and really know a game plan like that is 2. It's Jerry Jones and Al Davis. Nobody in the front office knows a game plan. So that's why I'm telling y'all mad at her. Y'all need to be mad at the people around her.
I think the frustration spreads not just with her, but everybody.
Well, yeah, because ultimately she's the one hiring decision makers who are then speaking for her.
My point is she ain't got no football answer on this one.
My only take on this is that even if she did speak, answers and press conferences aren't going to fix the mess that the Tennessee Titans are in right now. Winning games is. And all of this becomes easier when you start winning games. I'm not excusing any of it. That is my only take of it, is that, guys, even if she did talk, we're still not going to really be happy with a lot of the answers until you start to win games. That's just how this works, right?
Winning cures all.
There is no answer that an owner, a president, a GM, or a coach can give that's really going to move the needle if you're losing. Let's win games, and then, I think it's a different conversation. Loaded phone lines. Kevin is in Clarksville. Up next. What's up, Kevin?
Morning, Kevin.
What's going on, y'all? I'm driving, so I don't know if y'all can hear me clearly or not. Can y'all?
We got you, but it's a little muffled.
Yeah, we hear your wind in the back.
Okay, sorry about that. So I talk loud, make it short. My question is this. I want your honest opinion. Do you think it's a matter of the chef, the ingredients, being the team, chef being the coach, or are the Titans just a bad restaurant? I hang up.
Thank you, Kevin. Bad restaurant?
Yeah.
Is what he said?
Yeah.
Is it the ingredients? Okay, I see what you mean.
I think the restaurant's just bad right now. This is like Hell's Kitchen. You got to rebuild it up.
Yeah, I think it's all of it.
I mean, most definitely.
It's all of it. When you have 4 consecutive years of firing, this is the result of it. You don't have much you can hang your hat on as a foundation because you keep changing the criteria of what your foundation looks like.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you keep changing the menu. So, of course, the food's not going to taste great.
Exactly. There's no specialty.
Britt is up next, 615-737-1045. What's up, Britt?
Morning, Britt.
Morning, guys. Faithful listener, thanks for taking my call. Just want to say for coaching suggestions, what about Eric Bieniemy? And I got to ask why the Titans intend on trading away proven product for possibilities. I'll let you guys answer. Thank you.
No doubt.
Thank you, Britt. Eric Bieniemy?
I just don't see Bieniemy getting it. Bieniemy's reputation, right, wrong, or indifferent, is stuck. Bad. His best case for getting on was probably about 3 years ago, and he didn't get it then. He didn't get interviews.
He's gone backwards. I mean, at this point, he is the running backs coach for the Chicago Bears. Mm-hmm. I don't see Eric Bieniemy as a head coach candidate at this point of his career. The last time he was an NFL offensive coordinator is in 2023 with Washington. That regime ended. He was assistant head coach and OC last year at UCLA. Yeah. I think that ship has kind of sailed. And again, I think if you're looking at similar criteria to what brought you Brian Callahan, you're talking about an offensive coordinator who was under a savant-level offensive head coach who can really take more credit for the offensive success more so than the OC can. And that's, of course, Andy Reid in Kansas City with Patrick Mahomes. Now, that being said, again, I think you have to consider all options that have familiarity with Chad Brinker and Mike Borgonzi.
Right.
So I do think there's a world where Eric Bieniemy could get an interview. I would be surprised if he is the head coach. I would be surprised.
Very much so.
Ryan is at the Borough up next. Hey, Ryan.
What's up, fellas?
Morning.
So, good morning. Man, I look at Mike Vrabel from a Titans fan like he's the ex-son or daughter-in-law that the family loves and misses, and we feel sorry for him, like for being married to our incompetent family member. I mean, this is a really rare situation where I think a lot of people are actually rooting for Vrabel to put it on the Titans just to send a message to Amy because what she did was so dumb. And I can't get over it as a Titans fan for why they got rid of him. He was so right for being mad at them for trading AJ. And I know that that's been a while since that happened, but that's part of the dysfunction of the franchise is it was a dumb decision. She allowed it to happen. Whether she signed off on it or not, I don't know. But
no doubt.
The fact that it did happen just says that when he went to Foxborough and said, hey, it's not like this everywhere else, I mean, how true do those words ring today that he's killing it with them? And they didn't have to have an offensive-minded coach to come in and turn things around. You know, we could have done that. We could have brought in Josh McDaniels, and we could be sitting pretty right now. He was the coach of the year, for goodness sake, and we let him go. And so, I don't know. I just think that he deserves this win. If he puts 40 on us, it's the rare time as a Titans fan where I'm just going to say, you know, Amy probably deserves that, or the franchise deserves it, however you want to look at it. But anyways, I do love my Titans, but this weekend I think Vrabel gets to eat.
Thank you, Ryan.
Vrabel also got a hell of a ladder to climb up to in New England.
Mike Vrabel went 6-18 in his last 24 games as the head coach of the Tennessee Titans, and is a big reason why we're in this mess.
Not just that, though, too, but he's going in a situation where he's got Drake May. He had a whole lot of money. Gerard Mayo was an scapegoat for him. They had a bad season. They picked number 4 and got Will Campbell, his franchise left tackle.
He stepped into a pretty good situation there with the easiest record of the NFL.
And I give a lot of credit for him and say Vrabel still is a good coach.
100%. I think he's a good coach. I think that the decision to fire Mike Vrabel was not as bad as the decision to replace Mike Vrabel with Brian Callahan.
Mm-hmm.
That's the thing. If they'd gotten the hire right after Vrabel, we wouldn't be having this conversation, but they didn't. They moved on now after a season and a half, which now gives us the revisionist history on what ended Vrabel. But do you remember how bad Mike Vrabel's staffs were here? How they couldn't develop an offensive lineman, how he wanted more control, but a lot of his guys were some of the players that were the biggest problem spots on this team. Yeah. Mike Vrabel is a good coach. I still think that the decision to move on from him isn't the problem. It was the decision to replace him with Brian Callahan. That was the problem.
Yeah.
615-737-1045. And yes, Brandon, the Evan and Big Chat. There are a lot of reasons why the Titans are in this mess. It is not just on one person. It's not just on one anything, for sure. Coming up, we're just going to go total phone calls. in our next segment. All of your thoughts, 615-737-1045 before Jeremy Fowler joins us at 8:45 as we give the floor to you coming up next. Maybe you have been thinking about selling your home and moving to that new up-and-coming neighborhood in Nashville. Hey, you're thinking to yourself, this market is hot. I want to cash in now and upgrade. And if you've been on the fence, let me tell you about Bernie Gallerini Realty, who guarantees to get you results. Bernie has got such a heart for Middle Tennessee, and he knows the area. When you call him, you're calling a local area code, a 615 number that I'm going to give you here in a minute. But Bernie guarantees to sell your home in 30 days or less, or he'll buy it. So if you're worried about the risk of, can I sell my home? Can I get that top price? Bernie Gallerini will let you out of the contract at any time. He is the real estate agent who has the 30-day guarantee to sell your home. And if not, he will buy it from you. He gets results. Bernie's going to help you upgrade into that neighborhood you want to be in here in Middle Tennessee. Give my friend Bernie Gallerini a call directly on his cell phone. Here's that 615 number, 615-428-2644. Anyone giving their cell phone out over the radio, they've got confidence in their ability to help you, and Bernie is going to get you results. 615-428-2644. Check him out online at BernieGallerini.com. Ramona Willow, 104.5 The Zone is fueled by Scooters Coffee. Coming up in 20 minutes, ESPN NFL insider Jeremy Fowler will join the show. We will talk about candidates for the Titans job, how we got here, Mike McCoy being the interim, all of those things. Coming up, 615-737-1045. We have one line open.
Was that Bad Bunny?
You want it. That was Bad Bunny.
Bad Bunny.
It was.
I'm about to learn. He said learn.
Super Bowl halftime show.
Bad Bunny.
Performer, Bad Bunny. You're going
Biggest
to
artist in the world.
aprender. Learn.
Yes.
In Spanish.
Hey, nah.
My AP Spanish comes out every now and then. That's
Look
like
at you.
the smallest flex I could possibly have that I took AP Spanish. Here's how I'll quash it. I remember 0% of it. I do not remember a second of my Spanish. We go to the phone, 615-737-1045. Your thoughts on Brian Callahan, on options, on candidates, on the weather outside. I don't know. Probably not the weather outside. You want to talk Titans. Let's go to Vincent first. What's up, Vincent?
Yes, fellas. First of all, I love your show.
Thank you.
I'm a VFFL, a ball fan for life.
Hey,
And I like y'all picks. Y'all 5 picks of both of y'all. I love both of y'all picks. I'm very high on Brian Flores, and I hadn't thought about it, but I love Mike McCarthy. And also, I have a question. And my question is, how soon could they talk to coordinators? And thank you, and I'll hang up and listen.
Thank you, Vincent. Sitting coordinators, it's not going to be until after the season.
I thought some of them get it. Well, playoffs is when, you're right, after the season, playoffs is when they get the okay to go speak to other teams. Okay, yep you're right.
It's going to take a while.
Yeah. Oh, no, you're in it. There's 11 games here.
And that's, again, too, why Chad Brinker said yesterday, we're focused on Mike McCoy right now.
Yeah.
And they have to say that, obviously. But these are not meaningless games that are left to be played. You need development, and you need this football team to start to show signs of improvement. I care more about the players we have getting better than I do getting the best possible draft pick.
No doubt.
Let's go to Michigan. Who wants to talk Titans? What's up, Michigan?
Good morning, guys. First time, long time. You guys put a lot of meat on the bone for me to pour some A1 on, but I'm going to start with my names first. This organization's been trying to, pull fruit off not the McVay family tree. It's really the Kyle Shanahan family tree for a long time. What about Saleh and Mike McCarthy as a combo? I know it didn't work out great for Saleh in New York. I think that had more to do with New York and the ownership problems up there than maybe his acumen. He's a good defensive coordinator. Having said all that, you guys said the name I really want, which is Mike McCarthy. Yeah. Whether anybody wants to admit it or not, right now, this is an incompetent organization. It is. It's an incompetent organization from top to bottom. You need some competence. Like, you just need a steady sea captain who can put 2 hands on the wheel and can make 2 + 2 = 4. Somebody brought up restaurants earlier. You just need someone who can read a recipe, right? You don't need them to make a croque madame. They just need to be able to make peanut butter and jelly. And Mike McCarthy can make peanut butter and jelly. That's all they need right now. But the thing I really want to talk about, because Ramon spun me out on my drive into Nashville, was something he said. He said it's not Amy's responsibility, or maybe not responsibility, but you said we don't need to hear from Amy. We don't necessarily want to hear from Amy. She's writing the check. She's the owner. She can do what she wants. And I agree with you, Ramon, but I gotta bring up something very, very important that wasn't mentioned.
Okay.
The reason people want to hear from her, the reason I want to hear from her, is because after Vrabel was let go, she sat across from the current play-by-play voice of the Vols, previously the play-by-play voice of the Titans, and gave one of the most propagandized state media interviews I've ever heard in my entire life. And I worked in politics in college, so I've heard some media interviews, believe me. That's why people want to hear from her. If she was the Rooneys, if she was even the owners of the team I've spent more of my life observing than the Titans, the Detroit Lions, like the Ford family was incompetent forever before Sheila, but you never saw them, right? They never went out front of the camera and said, here's why we did what we did. That's why the Rooneys are what they are. That's the difference. That's the canyon between what she is right now, which is, a dollar store Jerry Jones, basically, and the ownership groups that do stay behind the scenes And they do, as you said, I need to get this put on a T-shirt, snatch some necks. Like, you can be the neck snatcher if you're not getting in front of the camera. But the reason people want to hear from her is because she got in front of the camera once.
Yeah, that's fair.
In one of the biggest decisions in this franchise. So I'm going to listen off air while I get more and more frustrated by 65 North.
I hear it.
You guys.
Thank you, Michigan. Appreciate the call.
You're going up. You're sending in voice.
All very fair points.
That's so fair. I have no pushback to you right there.
Very fair points.
On your why.
Yep.
That's justified.
Get it? Richard, up next to the phones as we go rapid fire here before Jeremy Fowler. What's up, Richard?
Okay, I think Robert Saleh and Cliff Kingsbury, I think they're just good coordinators. I think they would crash and burn as head coaches. McCartney, he's good, but I want head coaches who get a second chance, not a third one. I want a head coach. I don't want a real going out there. We tried this with Callahan, going to get an offensive guy for a quarterback. And I have two names. One y'all mentioned already, Flores. But one is a homie, Jim Schwartz.
Yeah, thank you, Richard. I mean, you're kind of contradicting yourself a little bit there, talking about good coordinators and people not getting third chances. I mean, Jim Schwartz as a head coach is 29-51. And that was in 2013 when he went 7-9, and the last time he was a head coach. I think Jim Schwartz is another example of what you said is a really good coordinator.
Yeah, I'll pass on that one.
The point about Robert Saleh, I guess we never answered that from Michigan, Ramon. How do you feel about Robert Saleh?
I think Saleh's a good lieutenant. He needs to be a coordinator. Looking at what he's doing with the defense right now, I think his management of coaches and rosters is a bit much for him right now.
Mm-hmm.
Let him hit early 50s. Then come back and revisit Robert Saleh at that point if he continues to be this good as a coordinator.
Saleh was 20-36 in 4 seasons as the head coach of the New York Jets. His first season, he went 4-13. He went 7-10 and 22-23 before starting 2-3 last season and was fired. It is now the defensive coordinator of the San Francisco 49ers. Yeah, I think if you are going to go the defensive coach route, it's more likely to be Brian Flores. You got to be really positive if you go the defensive coordinator route because, again, priority one is Cam Ward and putting him in the best position to be successful. And you run the risk of always having to keep a really good offensive coordinator around if you go the defensive coordinator route. So you better get the best possible manager of people that you can and culture setter. And to me, Brian Flores is more proven in that department based on the success he had in Miami than Saleh in New York.
And real quick, and in that time, build up a strong team because we're watching Dan Campbell lose both his coordinators and continue a high level of production.
Agreed. William is in Nashville up next. Hey, William.
What's going on, fellas? Good morning.
Good morning.
Appreciate you letting me on.
Yes, sir.
Long time listen, and I'm going to make this quick and sweet. You guys hit some valid points this morning. The fan base is tired, man. We got them. We got guys coming in. We training guys. We shipping guys out. It's becoming a training facility. You look at the early 2000s when we went to the Super Bowl, most of us won't even see a Super Bowl again if we keep going this route. Point to my mate. Go snatch up Arthur Smith. When it come time, go snatch the guy up.
What about Arthur
guy.
Smith do you like, William?
He's already been here. He knows the culture. The man can win. This is a young group. I can't put everything on everybody. This is a young group. But we keep spinning our wheels going through coaches and coaches and coaches. Next point. Don't hype up the next coach for us. Let it play out.
Fair.
We already know his resume. We don't need nobody hyping him up. If he gonna crash, let him crash. If he gonna sell, let him sell. It sold us on Callahan because of what he did in Cincinnati. He wasn't a head coach in Cincinnati. You're training this guy to be a head coach somewhere else. That's what it is. Chad Brinker, Benghazi, y'all next. Y'all making decisions. You making poor decisions. You guys are next on the list. We're not going to keep cycling through coaches. You guys making this, y'all are the thinking heads. Y'all speak for Amy and all this and all that, and she don't get in front of the camera. I'm not asking one to get in front of the camera. But her thinking heads are making poor decisions and then going to her to okay them. We don't hate Amy. We love Bud. But at the same time, God rest his soul, look, man, them two knucklehead she got with her, hey, man, it's time for them to go. They should have rolled out with him. Bring in some new people if you're going to start this thing all over.
Thank you, William. Appreciate the call.
Appreciate it, Will.
We got a loaded phone line, so we'll keep it moving. But Arthur Smith, though, I mean, you just got rid of the culture that created Arthur Smith when you fired Mike Vrabel. And going back to it this quickly doesn't feel like the right move, in my opinion.
It's familiar.
I don't think you can totally dismiss it, and maybe he says enough in the interview to warrant a closer look, and maybe he's the guy. I just think there are better candidates out there who are more proven and have won more as head coaches.
I loved when UT went and got Fulmer. Nostalgia, familiar, thought you love it. It didn't work out.
Yeah, right. Let's go one more before we get to Jeremy Fowler. Leon is in Nashville. Hey, Leon.
Morning, Leon.
Yes, sir. Good morning to you guys. My thing is, I had a funny joke to go with this. My funny one is I said the Titans got their second win of the year by firing. But I'm saying this because I feel like the first game when they did that little quick showcase when they in the locker room after the game when they got their first win, he just didn't have that grit for a football coach. You're like, hey, let's take this one in. And for me, if I was a coach, it's not that. This is the first win. Y'all guys got it. Yes, bravo, whatever. But we need to keep going. It needs to be tougher, harder coaching. Like I was a Vrabel fan, still is. But it's when you coach these guys, they're already on the NFL level. So these are athletes, pro athletes. There's no excuse to be 1-5, and you all guys are pros. The leadership with the ownership, I always felt that they don't want to spend the money to actually get the players that we actually need. One point in particular with the deal about Peyton Manning, that would have been a great history. That would have been a legacy right there for him to bring a Super Bowl home. Almost had it at UT, but didn't want to spend the money. But we have this with a lot of the owners are getting in the way of the coaches being able to coach in their way, and I felt like that was Vrabel. But I still just didn't feel like this coach had the heart or the grit to lead this team to even a playoff potential team.
Thank you, Leon. Appreciate the call. We got Jeremy Fowler up next. We got to move on. But, I think Amy has proven she's willing to spend a lot of money. She's paid a lot of coaches to not coach here or GMs to not GM here. And she's built a new stadium. And they've spent a lot of money in free agency. I think it's more the football ideas, not the lack of funds that have held them back.
Peyton was a real thing real quick.
Peyton Mania was crazy. They were very much in the mix for Peyton Manning. Okay. Very much in the mix. There are a lot of people that thought that it was happening. Alternate history. I would love to know the alternate timeline of what happens to Peyton Manning because I'm a Tennessee Titan. But that is a separate conversation for a separate day. ESPN's Jeremy Fowler, National NFL Insider, joins us next.
Is your concrete in need of repair? Maybe your sidewalk is shifting, your driveway is cracked and sinking too, or maybe your porch steps have moved on you. Shifted concrete can create a dangerous situation around your home, and it's just a trip hazard too. Again, you don't want the grandparents coming to see the grandkids, and next thing you know, they fall, trip, and hurt something, man. But it's Ramon Foster, and I'm here to tell you, whatever's going on with your concrete, call United Structural Systems. Ask them about their polyurethane foam injections. You've heard about USS for a long time. It's the same company that can fix your sunken and settling concrete. USS uses polyurethane foam injection to lift and repair your sinking concrete in a matter of minutes. Lifted concrete can be walked on immediately or even driven on after about 30 minutes. So don't go through the long, expensive process of ripping out and replacing concrete. Reach out to the company that I trust, man. You can go to USSTN.com. That's USSTN.com. Or call them 615-488-7855. United Structural Systems.
Ramona Will, fueled by Scooters Coffee on 104.5. The Zone continues in hour number 3 this morning, along with 11-year NFL veteran, Vol Network analyst Ramon Foster. I'm Will Bowling. Pleased to be joined this morning by ESPN NFL insider Jeremy Fowler, detailing the Titans firing of Brian Callahan and what is next for the organization. Jeremy, lots to discuss this morning. How are you?
Hey, guys, doing great. Hope you're well on your end.
Yes, sir. Really appreciate you joining us on a very busy day and busy week. First, Jeremy, just how did we get here? What do you think ultimately led for the Titans moving on from Brian Callahan as you heard it yesterday?
Yeah, I kept going back to a question that GM Mike Borgonzi asked me when I was at training camp. I spent 2 days with the Titans because we were doing kind of a bigger, broader story on number 1 overall pick quarterbacks and how they're ushered in by their head coaches, which has been a troubling sign with the last 4 number 1 picks. Their coaches have gotten fired in season, number 1 pick quarterbacks, that is. And so Borgonzi asked me, are we getting better? Because my question to him was, what is your expectation for what you consider progress with Brian Callahan in his second year? And he said, there's not a win-loss record we're looking at. It's just, are we getting better? Are we playing good, disciplined, tough football, right? And I went back to that when the Titans were just regressing in those areas. Because I do think they wanted to support Callahan, but, just the product was bad. There's just no way around it. Now, the roster's not good, so I don't know who really expected the product to be all that good. But as was told to me, that the writing was on the wall with the coaching staff, and they felt it when Callahan relinquished play calling duties. That sort of became a telltale sign that a change was going to be made at some point.
ESPN NFL insider Jeremy Fowler, our guest this morning on Ramon and Will. Jeremy, as you understand it, is this a Chad Brinker decision, a Mike Borgonzi decision, an Amy Adams Strunk decision? Collaboration has been a buzzword in this organization. Who ultimately led this process?
Well, Chad Brinker has been appointed by Amy Adams Strunk to be the 10-year view man, so to look at the team through the lens of the next 10 years. And Mike Borgonzi's more like the next couple years, and then the head coach is more just week to week. And so Brinker clearly was involved in this decision for that reason. I think he's been tasked with that. Now, ownership certainly was involved as well. So I would lean more collaboration. I do think since Chad hired Mike that they are in lockstep with these kind of decisions. They did the press conference yesterday together. So all 3 had a hand in this. I think that's pretty clear. Now, who made the final call or who pushed things along, hard to say. But I believe that Brinker was heavily involved in the entire process.
We're joined by ESPN's Jeremy Fowler this morning. Jeremy, when you said that the writing was on the wall for Coach Brian Callahan when he relinquished play calling duties, the day before he did that, he said he would not be doing it. So who either forced him into it or made the decision that he needs to give him up? Because he told us that's his job. Yeah,
I do think, Ramon, there are some mechanics in play there that are beyond just Callahan waking up one morning and saying, I don't want to call plays anymore. I do think there was, and I haven't confirmed this, but an urging from somewhere in the building like, hey, that, you're struggling with the game management, which I think was pretty clear. That one home game where there were boos at halftime, where they, couldn't seem to, didn't really have a clear-cut plan as to how they were going to handle the end of that half, and then they try to kick field goal, and it's too late, and then you get a penalty, and all that was a mess. So I think because of things like that, it was suggested to him that, hey, it's probably best to focus on the game. But then we've seen that where coaches relinquish play calling. It's usually just a foreshadow to the end. I mean, we saw that with Nathaniel Hackett in Denver a couple years back. You're brought in to usher a quarterback, number 1 pick rookie, into the NFL. So you're doing that because you were hired to be an offensive guy. So when that's stripped from you, it's a bad sign.
Discussing this next move that has to be made after the season as far as hiring a new head coach, do you have they discussed at any kind of way what they're looking for? Because when you look at the coaches that have been brought in, or specifically Coach Brian Callahan, this roster isn't a good one. There's an article in The Athletic now from a Raiders executive speaking in it that said it's one of the worst rosters that he's seen. How does a coach wanting to take this feel about getting time, you think, to take this job and make this team and organization better?
Yeah, Ramon, I think the new coach or the coaching candidates are going to have to be asking some hard questions on their end. Because when you go into a job interview, you have to be ready for tough questions, but you can fire back your own questions. And, one common one is, am I going to be supported here? Because you're looking at 2 GM changes, 2 head coach changes since December of 22. That's less than 3 years. That is pretty rampant turnover that you just can't survive long term. Now, I did talk to an executive of the team yesterday who pointed out that this does seem like the last cleanup move for Chad Brinker, because when he was moved into the president role, it was sort of in the transition around Carthon, and they already had Brian Callahan in-house. They'd already hired him, which, even though I think Brinker was involved in hiring Callahan at the time, now he's got his sort of handpicked GM, and it had become clear to them that long-term Callahan wasn't going to be the answer. So it's one of those scenarios where, if you are going to do something eventually, you might as well do it now. And so it's kind of what happened at Penn State with James Franklin, right? Like, those are hard decisions, but if you're going to do it by the end of the year, you might as well not wait. So because of that, maybe like they can take their handpicked guy this time and say, now we're all on the same page. We all have defined roles for years to come. Come in here and be our missing piece. And that sounds great on paper, but there's now a narrative that Tennessee is just simply impatient, or maybe it's ownership that's impatient. And so you have to combat that a little bit and assuage those concerns for the new coach, where, you're sitting there saying, hey, there's not a good roster. It's going to take 2 years for me to even be competitive, which, in fairness to Callahan, was kind of the case, right? 23 games with a bad roster is just not enough time to create a winning culture. And the Titans know the roster's bad. Everybody there knows it's bad. That's why I think they'll be active at the trade deadline. They need picks. And, they made some picks this year of players that have some promise, whether it's the tight end out of Texas or some of those guys on offense. But, they need more time. And I don't think they have any stars out of that group, at least right now. So they got to go find some.
Jeremy Fowler, ESPN NFL Insider, our guest this morning. Jeremy, are you hearing any names that are emerging in the very early start of this process? Who makes sense for this job?
Ooh, so it's early, but, I'll look at it's probably going to have to be offense again. I mean, you don't want to pigeonhole that. You want to get the best leader, and I do think the trend of having to get the offensive guru is a little stale. You need a grown-up in the room. I look at Matt Nagy because he's got connections to Mike Borgonzi from Kansas City. He's got the right demeanor for it. He had a winning record in Chicago, so he's got some cachet and some experience. So that name comes to mind. I would say, Chad Brinker has intimate knowledge from Green Bay, so maybe a Jeff Hafley, defensive coordinator out of Green Bay. I'm just thinking out loud of just some names.
Sure.
It could be a little outside the box, but could make sense. Vance Joseph out of Denver, a really accomplished coordinator is doing a great job. They're going to need. You can't just ignore the defensive side as well. That's been a problem. So you're going to need some stability on that side. Whoever it is, they have to have a really good plan as far as who's calling the plays, who's your offensive coordinator, and how do you get the best out of Cam Ward, a quarterback who's clearly talented, but looks like their head is spinning a little bit right now.
Jeremy, what is Mike McCarthy's motivation to get back into head coaching and for the year off that he's taking right now? Do you see him being a legitimate candidate as someone who also had experience working with Chad Brinker in Green Bay?
Oh, yeah, that's a good name. I mean, certainly I think he'll be in the mix. But, he wasn't last year. He interviewed for a couple jobs. It didn't work out. It's tough to say when teams when leagues as a whole have sort of moved on from somebody, will he get a third shot? It's hard to get a third shot in the NFL as a head coach. Second shot, maybe. But, he's done a good job in both places, in Green Bay and Dallas. So perhaps that's out there for him. And a lot depends on how you interview and, how you project in that setting. But I think most teams are looking for some new ideas and some new blood as well. So certainly he could be in the mix, and you're right, the Chad Brinker connection does help in this case. But I don't know that would be the most aspiring hire at this point if you're trying to excite the fan base, especially with the new stadium opening up the 27th.
Fowler, you mentioned the roster and what it is not that good, and you also said they will be active, meaning the Titans, at the trade deadline. What are you feeling about this? Maybe hearing about it, and who would be a candidate to be traded for or traded out?
Yeah, I just think that they want to get, some decent picks where they can. They're probably going to have to resort to getting like some day 3 picks back just because they don't have like some marquee guy that they can trade and get a lot for. Jeffrey Simmons would be the one, but I was told they don't want to trade Jeffrey Simmons. I mean, you got to give the new guy something to work with, and Simmons is only 27, and he's having a great year, in great shape compared to years past. So I would be very surprised if they moved on from him, although I know teams are sort of like, hoping that the Titans would relent there, and they would love to get their hands on him. But the 3 guys I have circled for the Titans are Arden Key, Roger McCreary, and I'm drawing a blank. There's one more. I'll have to think about it. Okay. There's a third guy. Oh, Chig, the tight end. Oh. I just think guys that are on their last year of their rookie deal that aren't in the long-term plans, I think are fair game.
Jeremy, one more for you on the way out. What is the NFL's opinion, just as a whole, on Joe Brady and the work that he has done in Buffalo? It feels like maybe he is, in your own kind of thought process, right, of the offensive mind becoming a little stale as coaches like Mike McDaniel maybe fizzle out a little bit in Miami. But what about Joe Brady makes him an attractive candidate? And do you see him kind of as that next big name up as an offensive coordinator option?
Yeah, Joe's got a lot of good qualities, including his ability to relate to players, his rapport with Josh Allen. Josh Allen trusts him implicitly, and Allen might be the best player in the entire league outside of Patrick Mahomes. So because of that, that gives Brady some credibility going into those meetings. I was a little surprised he didn't get more momentum last year. It just didn't quite work out for him. So maybe he needs another year to get that going. And obviously they didn't look great last night, but it's a long season, and everybody expects Buffalo to be firmly in the mix. So, he's got a nice demeanor to him. I think really with all these guys, it's not just the offensive ability, but it's the leadership. Do you have that in spades? Another coordinator we saw last night, even though they didn't win, but I think will be in the mix, is Cliff Kingsbury. He's done a great job with Jaden Daniels. His tenure in Arizona doesn't look so bad anymore. He took him to the playoffs with, quarterback in Kyler Murray, who's had his struggles at times. So, certainly that could be a name as well, as far as that mold of like young offensive minds.
ESPN's Jeremy Fowler has been our guest this morning on Ramon and Will. NFL Insider, does a great job covering the entire league, and great nuggets for us this morning. Jeremy, I know it's a busy time. Really appreciate it. Thanks so much.
Appreciate it.
Hey, thanks, guys. Good to hear from you.
You too.
Yes, sir. ESPN's Jeremy Fowler with us here this morning. Lots to react to out of what he said, including the 3 names he is monitoring that the Titans could move on. We'll react more to that coming up next.
Genesis Diamonds has the most amazing selection of hand-picked diamonds at unbelievable prices. But did you also know Genesis has the best selection of pristine, hand-picked, luxury, pre-owned Rolex watches as well? In fact, they're having a huge 2-day Rolex event, and it's happening October 24th and 25th. An incredible display of Rolex watches is at killer prices. Submariners, Daytonas, Pepsis, Batmans, Presidentials. All of them, man, including some of the new, never-worn fresh models that people wait years for during this event. You can take advantage of special pricing up to 60 months of zero interest financing. And listen to this. With the purchase of any luxury pre-owned Rolex at this event, Genesis will give you a pair of 4-carat lab-grown diamond stud earrings of the highest quality, absolutely free. And if you are already a Rolex owner, bring your old Rolex to trade, or Genesis buyers will be on site to offer top dollar for your Rolex. Go and see the largest selection of luxury pre-owned Rolex watches in the state and take advantage of special financing, or get a pair of beautiful 4-carat lab-grown diamond stud earrings valued at $5,000 absolutely free. It is October 24th and 25th, and only at Genesis Diamonds, your home for luxury pre-owned Rolexes. They're located in Green Hills and Cool Springs. See store for details while supplies last.
Are you trapped in a high-rate mortgage watching your hard-earned money vanish every month? Stop. Right now at Loan Pronto, they are delivering the lowest mortgage rates in 3 years. Hey, it's Will Boulding. Loan Pronto's rate reduction home loan program is a streamlined, low-cost way to slash your house payments by hundreds of dollars a month. Lock in a fixed rate as low as 4.99% APR and close in as little as 2 weeks. No appraisal needed in most cases, and here's the kicker. You can skip your next 2 house payments entirely. So don't wait. Rates this low will not last. Call Loan Pronto now for your free, no-obligation quote. Loan Pronto is amazing. Just imagine lower payments, more money in your pocket, and a fresh start with a better mortgage. Call 615-499-5780 or visit loanpronto.com to lock in your new low rate and skip those next 2 payments. Don't let high rates hold you back. Call 615-499-5780 or go to loanpronto.com right now. Equal housing lender, NMLS 1661781, subject to lender approval, and MLSconsumeraccess.org.
It is 9:04. Good morning, live from the 104.5 The Zone Studios. I'm Justin Hawkins. Changes are on the way for the Tennessee Titans as news broke yesterday with the team informing head coach Brian Callahan that they are firing him, ending his 23-game tenure as head coach after a 1-5 start to this season and a 4-19 record overall. The move sparks a 4th change in as many offseasons since 2022. The team has since named senior offensive assistant Mike McCoy as the interim head coach. McCoy in his first year with the Titans, but was head coach of the Chargers back in 2013 and to 2016, where he went 27-37 with 1 playoff win. Yesterday, President of Football Operations Chad Brinker and Mike Borgonzi addressed the media last night, and Brinker explained that decision.
The things that we said in the preseason about we were looking for growth in this football team. And that's what this is about right now, is we're not seeing enough growth from this football team. We're 1-5, and we got to be better in this. And I want to acknowledge the fact that we're all frustrated.
Nashville Predators are off to a good start to their season, and that included yesterday's 4-1 win over the Ottawa Senators to improve to 2-0-1 on the season. The Preds are back on the ice tonight as they face off against the Toronto Maple Leafs in Toronto with puck drop at 6 o'clock on ESPN+. For all your foundation repair and waterproofing needs, you got to go to USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home for the Titans and Vols. This is 104.5 The Zone.
Fourth and final hour of the show, 9 a.m. in Music City, USA. Welcome in. Got some lines open. We'll take your calls, 615-737-1045. If you missed Jeremy Fowler, ESPN NFL insider, just a few minutes ago, first of all, he was excellent. And secondly, there are some nuggets he dropped that we can react to. Ramon? We also have more audio from Chad Brinker and Mike Borgonzi that we have not yet played from yesterday. There's a lot more to discuss this morning.
It is. Fowler was good. His conversations that he's had so far, his perception of what it is it was unique. I enjoyed Fowler right there. I'm just looking forward to seeing all the stuff that he said, how it actually unfolds in the next, it's October.
It's October 14th.
4 months from now?
The third week in October.
Be about 4 months in his next hire, you think?
About 3.
3?
January, February.
It'll be January. It has to be.
Probably.
Because
unless you have a coach that is on a Super Bowl coaching staff that you want, then you're waiting until February.
Yeah, it won't be the Browns.
Yeah. This just in. The Cleveland Browns will not be making this year's Super Bowl.
Not be the Browns.
Please credit at Ramon Foster the second the Browns don't make the Super Bowl. He reported this first.
Can we also talk about what, in my personal opinion, what I think they've already done? They're already trying to get more high draft picks. The change to Dylan Gabriel, in my personal opinion, was just
talking
like
about Cleveland.
Cleveland, that is. Like, yeah, we'll go ahead and nosedive this thing. Take it to the ground, man.
It's a mess.
Joe Flacco.
We got our own mess here.
Yeah, that's true.
Who is making the hire? Well, the next Titans head coach, Chad Brinker, on that yesterday.
Yeah, I think, like I said, Mike and I have been, a big part of all those conversations with Amy. I don't know if I'm understanding your question correctly, but
basically what I'm asking is it going to be your decision, Amy's decision? Whose decision is it going to be to hire the next head coach for this?
I got you. Yeah, we're all going to work on that together. But Mike and I will lead if you're asking, as far as the search is concerned, Mike and I will lead that search. But right now, what our focus is right now is pouring everything we can into Mike McCoy and giving him every opportunity from here on out, starting this week. We got the Patriots coming to town. We got to do everything we can to help him, to support him the way he needs to be supported so we can go out there and win a football game. So that's really what our focus is right now. There's going to be plenty of time to talk about the next steps, but Mike McCoy is going to get every opportunity to prove. I mean, he's been a head coach in this league before, so we want to give him that opportunity.
There you go. Chad Brinker yesterday. Mike McCoy, the former head coach of the then San Diego Chargers, is 53. Head coach there from 2013 to 2016. He was a Broncos offensive assistant, offensive coordinator in 2017, Cardinals OC in 2018, the Jags quarterbacks coach until this year when he joined as a senior offensive assistant. 27-37, Mike McCoy with the Chargers during the last 4 years that he had in San Diego. In 2012, the Broncos were 4th in total offense and 2nd in scoring offense under his leadership with a guy named Peyton Manning at quarterback. Mike Borgonzi talked about the changes that could be coming to the Titans offense. I thought this was very interesting, but we haven't gotten into this yet, on how Mike McCoy could change things for Cam Ward.
Yeah, I think there'll be some changes that Mike puts into place, working with Cam. That we discussed today, whether it's changes at practice, changes we do within the scheme, things to make him feel a bit more comfortable, all those things. Any opportunity we have to try to change things to help him in the offense, Mike's going to be open to that.
Mike Borgonzi speaking yesterday.
Whatever makes Cam comfortable is fascinating.
Sure
I thought that's what he and Callie were already doing. I thought that's what this offense was supposed to be.
They told us in the offseason that they wanted it to be like year 2 at Miami for him.
Yeah. So what didn't Callahan listen to? What didn't Nick Holtz not listen to? What is changing with Mike McCoy being the head coach that you didn't get from Coach Callahan? Because here's the thing again, the playbook has not changed.
Tempo, RPOs, play action, rollouts. 3 changes I think you'll see. Just my guess.
I'm waiting to see. I feel you. I feel what you're saying. But I feel like those attempts have been made, and then you have rushers in Cam's face as soon as he pull out the pocket.
It's true. I mean, there is no easy button to press, and all of a sudden it just works. Yeah.
Before you go to these callers real quick, it's the conversation, too, of Fowler speaking about the coaches. I asked a question about how, if the roster's this bad, how are you going to get time? And that's the issue. I feel like there's been the impatience of watching the end game of how Vrabel wanted more control and what he wants the team to look like. That happened. Then you bring in a new guy and you tell him, we're going to get you the goods, and they got your quarterback, and then that doesn't work. So you mean to tell me that you got rid of a guy basically in Will Levis, you bring in a coach that's specifically for the quarterbacks, you draft a quarterback, and then the guy you hired to coach the quarterback is gone. So, like, the patience level of anybody that wants to take this job has to be like, I'm talking about an ironclad job security, like send off of payment if it doesn't work in 2 years, if the roster is that bad as they say. And Fowler said that.
615-737-1045. Craig is in Mount Juliet. What's up, Craig?
What's up, Craig?
Good morning. We need some excitement. And Callahan would still have his job if we would have traded the pick and I got any other quarterback but him. And even if we'd have brought Sanders in, can you imagine the excitement with the trade and still get Sanders? So now I'm looking, we need excitement. I'd like to see if Lane Kiffin would like the job.
Yes.
I think he knows what he's doing right away. You don't have to coach Lane Kiffin, and you get another quarterback who you don't really have to coach because I don't think Cam can carry the team.
All right, then. Craig, I like your takes. Lane, bring him in. Lane train, hop on. Don't even buy tickets if you're on the Lane train, baby.
What are you doing?
I love this. Absolutely, I love this. Craig brings up a great point.
No.
What are you talking about?
Lane Kiffin, the coach of the
Lane,
Oakland
I'm gonna
Raiders.
be real with you, Craig. Lane, a college coach. I'm gonna be real with you. I'm with the excitement side of it. That's for kids in college, man.
Oh, it's gonna be a long 3.
No, it ain't. Oh, it ain't. Will, give me more of Craig out here, man. Hell yeah. Craig did. He started off with a great point, though. He did say if they didn't draft Cam, Callie would probably still be hired, though, too. I will say that. I can acknowledge that before Craig went to Lane. Lane, the college coach, man.
Lane Kiffin went 5-15 as an NFL head coach in 2007 and 2008. I know he's not the same guy, but let's for the sake of argument, entertain this as an option.
Go ahead.
This team cannot take a risk. This team needs stability. You are not going to go get a college coach when you are in desperate need of stability and someone to come in with experience as an NFL head coach or NFL coordinator who is not learning on the job. No, Lane Kiffin. Thank you, Craig.
Hey.
What are you doing? You got your 10 rings again?
I got 10 rings to say that Craig is right. If you ain't hear him yesterday, Chad told us they got 9 Super Bowls in that room and a decision. So you know what I did? I went and got one more.
No.
I got 10 of them now.
No.
Me and my ring pops will be picking the new head coach out here.
Let's go to Matt in Franklin next up. Hey, Matt.
Good morning, guys. I'm thinking of a guy that you can go to talk to now, proven winner. I'm pretty sure his girlfriend would love to hang out on Broadway.
Oh, stop it!
Come on with it. Come on, Matt.
Miss Amy would love the Super Bowl ring count. Let's talk about Bill Belichick.
They got 9. I got my
rings.
Proven winner.
Come on.
Stable, you guys are talking about stable.
Who is it?
Bill Belichick.
Matt, you my spirit animal this morning. Do you hear me? Because Bill already got 6 rings. I'll just add my 4 ring pops to his, and then we got 10, and we make the most sense ever.
Thank you, Matt. Appreciate the call.
I got 10 rings. I'm out here like MJ.
I'm surrender Cobra in the studio.
It just depends. Are you getting New England Bill or Chapel Hill Bill?
Listen, I know a pedal tavern.
I
know a pedal tavern would hate to see Jordan Hudson coming. She could run for Miss Tennessee. She lost in Maine. She could run for
her and my little cousin both can
Bill
run.
Bill Belichick is not going to be. No, Matt. Love you, buddy. Thank you for calling in.
But he was born.
We
in
appreciate
Tennessee.
you listening to our show. No,
he was born in Tennessee.
No, Bill Belichick. That train has not only left the station, that train, like when they replace the old trains with the new ones, like the subway system, you find out, hey, these seats are really comfortable now. That's because they went and they took apart the old train and now it's in a scrapyard somewhere. The metal refinery next to Nissan Stadium is where the old train of Bill Belichick now resides. That train doesn't go on the tracks anymore. They took it apart for parts. We have refurbished new trains now that run on time. You don't have the entire schedule go off now. What?
This is facts. Hey, step your game up and go get you some rings, dog.
615-737-1045 is our number, and we've got plenty more calls to take.
Kirk Herbstreit? What?
Brian is not being serious. But you gave Brian exactly what he wanted
the gremlins
in the Infinite Bank chat because he's trolling us now by giving other options that aren't going to happen. Kirk Herbstreit is an outstanding broadcaster who is not going to be the head coach of the Tennessee Titans.
I'd rather Peter than Kirk.
There you go. There you go. Peter Herbstreit's got a better chance of being the Titans head coach than Lane Kiffin. That's for sure. The dog. The golden retriever. We could have an Air Bud situation, but as a coach.
It was a great movie. I love it.
Well, outstanding movie. Coming up, more of your phone calls. Highlights from Jeremy Fowler a few minutes ago if you missed it. Next. Ramona Will, 104.5 The Zone, hour number 4. Open phone lines at 615-737-1045. Ramon Foster and Will Bowling. If you miss any of the show, please subscribe to us on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. Ramona Will, available wherever you download audio. Jeremy Fowler dropped some nuggets this morning. We're going to get back to here in just a few minutes. And there are a couple names, Ramon, that we've not talked about for Titans head coach who are being discussed. One of them was brought up by Jeremy. The other one, fans continue to ask about it. Maybe weren't listening earlier. So we gave our top fives in hour 2 at 7:20. If you missed it, you can go subscribe to Ramon and Will. You can get hour 2 where we give you our top 5 lists of coaches. Neither of us had John Gruden on the list.
Hell no.
Why is John Gruden not on your list, Ramon?
He's been out of it for a very long time. And also, I think the most important part for him is his dealings with the NFL in this lawsuit. I said there's another coach in Brian Flores that's dealing with a lawsuit right now and still coaching in the league. He doesn't have one. And he's also stated at the University of Georgia that he wants to coach a college football team.
Yeah.
I think he's kind of run his course with adult players and the rah-rah salesmanship of salesman of him being a good coach and how to motivate.
And his lawsuit is moving forward with the NFL. This is not something that's been settled or is in the rear view. I mean, Brian Flores' situation, Ramon, kind of came and went. John Gruden's is still very active. So on October 2nd, John Gruden's lawsuit against the NFL moved closer to trial when the Nevada Supreme Court unanimously denied the league's petition to rehear a recent decision, which went in Gruden's favor. And the NFL, which could appeal to the U.S. Supreme Court, declined to comment. Gruden resigned as the head coach of the Raiders in October of 21 after the publication of emails he sent earlier that included racist, misogynistic, and homophobic language. A month later, he sued the NFL and Commissioner Roger Goodell, alleging a malicious and orchestrated campaign to destroy his career by leaking the emails. So in October 2nd, 7-0 ruling, the Nevada Supreme Court denied the league's earlier appeal on its ruling from August that Gruden can proceed with his lawsuit and not go through the league for arbitration. If you don't understand the legalese of all of that, the headline is that he's got an active lawsuit against the NFL. He is much more likely to be a college coach than he is an NFL coach. And the last time he won double-digit games, Ramon, I was 8. It was 2005.
Also, the NFL is always going to try to save face as much as it possibly can, especially for people who who don't have a B in front of their names in their bank account. And also, as much as that judge granted him, there's going to be a lot of exposing of what the NFL was capable of doing when his lawyers get a hold of those emails.
100%.
He's going to try to embarrass the NFL.
That's right. Matt Nagy was brought up by Jeremy Fowler. Not in either of our top 5s. What are your thoughts on Matt Nagy, the now offensive coordinator of the Kansas City Chiefs and former head coach of the Chicago Bears?
Not Detroit Bears. My Chicago Bears fans absolutely hated him.
Yeah.
There's people outside of Chicago that view him as the best thing that they ever had with what he was presented with. I'm not sure what he's going to be on his retread around the sun and trying to find his way back, but I'm not high on him. I don't think much of him.
Yeah.
That's just, but again, it's kind of what Jeremy Fowler said that that this team needs. Somebody that's an adult. If he's that for this team and can have a Rolodex, again, of connections, that's the biggest thing I think for the next head coach of this team. Who are you connected to bring in that want to be here?
Right. I think Matt Nagy is an option. I do think they will talk with him. General Manager Mike Bergonzi and his familiarity with Nagy from Kansas City is enough just to kick the tires. I mean, he was 34-31 in 4 years in Chicago. He went 12-4 in year 1, 8-8 in years 2 and 3, and 6-11 in year 4. He had 3 years of Mitch Trubisky and 1 year of Justin Fields.
Oh, and Justin Fields been seen
as a rookie. Justin Fields.
I'm saying as his career.
That's what I'm saying. I think sometimes in the South we view NFL hires in the framework and in the context of college coaches. Your record is not always who it says you are or what it says you are as NFL head coaches, Ramon, because you don't pick all the players.
Not in the NFL.
Not in the NFL.
No,
in college, you are ultimately responsible for picking the players, developing them, coaching them, and recruiting all of it. And you are in charge of the portal, maybe less so now, but you are ultimately more responsible for your results as a college coach. In the NFL, you are a product of the players that you are given and the players that you are available to draft. What is Andy Reid without the ability to draft Patrick Mahomes and coach him with the Kansas City Chiefs? Maybe he's a little bit more like Doug Peterson, a former Eagles coach that coached in a Super Bowl who only lasted a few more years with this next guy. So, again, I think Matt Nagy is not my first choice, but I don't think you can turn your nose up at it. I think it's a legitimate option.
What you think of the McCarthy conversation?
Mike McCarthy? Yeah, so Jeremy Fowler was on with us a few minutes ago, and we asked Jeremy, how does the league view Mike McCarthy? Is he a candidate here? I thought this was really interesting from ESPN NFL insider Jeremy Fowler on with us just about a half hour ago.
Oh, yeah, that's a good name. I mean, certainly I think he'll be in the mix. But, he wasn't last year. He interviewed for a couple jobs. It didn't work out. It's tough to say when teams have – or when leagues as a whole have sort of moved on from somebody. Will he get a third shot? It's hard to get a third shot in the NFL as a head coach. Second shot, maybe. But, he's done a good job in both places, in Green Bay and Dallas. So perhaps that's out there for him. And a lot depends on how you interview and, how you project in that setting. But I think most teams are looking for some new ideas and some new blood as well. So certainly he could be in the mix. And you're right, the Chad Bringer connection does help in this case. But I don't know that would be the most inspiring hire at this point if you're trying to excite the fan base, especially with the new stadium opening up the 27th.
It surprised me a little bit, Ramon, to be honest with you.
Same here.
I thought he was more of a prime candidate, but again, and that's the same thing about John Gruden, too. We could have that conversation about it's hard to get a third chance at the NFL. Jeremy's right on that.
Yeah, I never saw that being an issue, but I most definitely could understand it. The second time, it's like, oh, yeah, you knew, you learned. By the third time, it's just like, man, you are who you are. You got a low ceiling, basically. That's what he's saying about guys in those type of situations.
Yeah, I'm good with a high floor at this point. I'm less concerned about the ceiling and more about the floor.
Yeah, well, you got to pour some concrete first here.
Yeah, fair enough. Going to take some time. Bobby is in Nashville. Up next. What's up, Bobby?
Hey, well, good morning, guys. I've got a great thought for a coach.
I can't wait.
He's won a Super Bowl as a player. He's led a team to a Super Bowl as a coach and turned another team around. What about Riverboat Ron?
Is it third time, too?
Again, same thing. It's really hard to get a third chance as an NFL head coach. And Jeremy Fowler was right about that. Thank you for the call, Bobby. Appreciate it. But I don't know. He's 102 and 103 in 13 years as a head coach.
He was in the mix a little bit last year. He interviewed.
He never had a winning season in Washington. The last time Ron Rivera had a winning season was 2017 with Carolina when he went 11-5.
I talked to him a little bit last year in Los Angeles for the Chargers game.
Great guy.
Great, amazing.
Like everyone will tell you, he's just a great dude.
I bring that up just to say this too: his ability to have or not have a quarterback in Washington was unique to him.
Yeah, it was. It was. I
think
he
did well with Cam.
He would have liked to have Jaden Daniels to coach in Washington.
No doubt.
Yeah, you're right. He did well with Cam Newton.
Cam Newton, that is.
I probably shouldn't totally be out on Riverboat Ron, but I just kind of say probably not, because if you're going to get a third chance, like Mike McCarthy to me earns a third chance because he had 3 consecutive 12-win seasons in Dallas, and 1 year of below 500, he's gone. Considering the owner in Dallas, like that chance, I don't really view the same way as I view everyone else's second chance, because your second chance ended up being with Jerry Jones.
Mm-hmm. Does age matter real quick, too? Because Ron, I'm looking at him right now. We share a birthday, January 7th. He'll be 64 by the time he gets hired, if he is hired as an NFL head coach.
I don't really care about age.
Age don't matter?
I mean,
okay. I didn't know.
We just got beat by Pete Carroll, who's, I think the oldest coach in the league.
Well, never mind.
I don't know. I mean, do you care about age?
If this is a long-haul situation, coaching is taxing. I just look at it and see if they're trying to plan for 27. You're not finna plan for 27, then fire somebody and get a new guy. Like, whoever it is has to be a long-term 7-8 year dude if it goes well.
Right.
That puts him at, 69?
Steven on Facebook Live says, Gruden must have hurt you at some point, the way you keep trying to trash him.
Who?
I was 8 years old, blah, blah. He's got a better pro record than some of the dudes you put in your top 5 candidate list. Yeah, John Gruden's a has-been. Cliff Kingsbury and Brian Flores are currently in the league for a reason. These other guys who have had opportunities and now will probably get a second chance are in the league for a reason. Mike McCarthy is out of the league for 1 year. John Gruden's been out because he's also suing the league, and he earned the right to get his walking papers. I have nothing personal against John Gruden. I actually think he's quite a good media personality. I think he's quite entertaining. But he's just that. He is a media personality. You don't have an active lawsuit against the NFL and then get hired as an NFL head coach. I would be stunned if he got an NFL job next time around.
You just got to ask the question, why do you like him? That's a question for whoever
Steven,
said that statement. Why do you like
what
him?
has he done for you personally in your life?
Just flip that one. Tell me why you like him.
Right. Prove it to me why he is a legitimate candidate. 117 and 112 in his career as a head coach. I don't really get it. AJ is in New York. Hey, AJ.
Morning, AJ.
What's good, fellas? What's good? Love the show. First time caller.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Yeah, I don't see why McCarthy wasn't like the perfect candidate for like the interim coach. You could give him a little trial, see where he goes at the end there.
I think
you don't have to hire him. You have like a 10-week interview.
Understood. No, I was going to say I think it's because he's still getting paid from Dallas, but I think his contract just expired. That was the whole conversation on him, wasn't it?
AJ, I just think you'd have to change too much of the terminology. And
these aren't his guys.
It is difficult to change an entire culture and an entire system on the fly. And you've got to give other candidates a chance to interview for the job that you can't interview right now because they're all on other teams or with other organizations. So you're taking a big risk on McCarthy without doing your due diligence to see who else is out there.
Well, you're just hiring him for an interim basis, not permanently, but you get to see.
I see what you mean.
I get it. One last thing. Hey, Bert has me blocked on the YouTube channel.
Ooh.
Bert, he blocked me. He blocked me last year for him being butthurt about the Ravens losing.
Thank you.
AJ Parkinson.
Thank you, AJ. We'll run it up the flagpole. We'll let Big Boss Bert know.
Oh, don't step on Big Boss Bert's toes, AJ.
Yeah, I just on the point of hiring McCarthy.
You're fired, AJ.
You're not giving him a fair shake to really implement his culture and do what he wants to do. If you gave him this on the fly, it's like jumping on a treadmill that's at full speed without,
interim situations. You hire people in house.
You're not giving him a chance if you hired him now. Glenn is next up. What's up, Glenn?
What's up, fellas? Every morning before I get in my truck and turn the radio on, I think to myself, I can't believe Will and Ramon have to talk about this again today. So at least now we have the ridiculous hopes and dreams for a head coach. It's not going to happen, and dumb ideas. So I thought I'd bring one to the table. He lives here in Nashville, and he is stability and would generate excitement. Why not Rex Ryan?
Rex Ryan. All right, thank you, Glenn. We'll talk about it. Ramon?
I'm going to pass on Rex.
Yeah, I'm good.
I like Rex on TV for this reason. Like, Rex going to come in with a whole rah-rah shebang of saying what he's going to do, how he's going to do it, and Rex, the element of being in touch with current coaches in the state of the league right now, I think it's a little bit too much of a separation. He does fall in the same conversation of John Gruden to me too. And the immediate impact that he think he can potentially have here, I don't know if it's set up to be this way.
Yeah, if you're out of the league from 2016 through 2025, there's a reason. And
it's been that long?
Yeah, he was fired in Buffalo in 2016.
We're going on 10 years.
Yeah, and again, if you're going to get a third chance, then you've got to have a really unique situation. Like Pete Carroll just kind of retiring and moving on from Seattle. That's a unique circumstance to then get yourself a third chance. So I don't think Rex Ryan is a candidate anymore. I think he's good on TV. Yeah, he's solid. I've seen his boat on the lake like years ago. He's got a very nice boat here.
I'm not about
Middle
to
Tennessee.
joke. I'm not.
You're what?
I'm not about to say a joke.
Okay.
And I want to so bad.
Okay.
Nope.
Is there, I don't know what I'm missing, but all right.
Rex Ryan's boat, the name of it, what it would be.
Oh, okay. Moving on. Let's go to Dan up next. Hey, Dan.
Hey, guys. How y'all doing this morning?
We're good. Good morning, Dan.
Good. Hey, the question is this. If Will and Ramon was writing the checkbook to get whoever the Titans needed, tell me who your first name's going to be. Whether it be a collegiate coach or a coordinator right now. Tell me, if you were signing the check, who would you go out and get?
Dan, it's a great question. We did this topic at 7:20. Ramon, number one on your list was
Brian Flores, but my number 3 would move up if he's fired, and that's Stefanski.
Okay. All right.
I put him at 3 because he's currently employed.
Okay.
But Brian Flores is my number 1.
My first choice is Mike McCarthy. Mike McCarthy. I think this organization needs a stabilizer, someone with head coach experience, and somebody who can develop quarterbacks. In 24 seasons as a play caller in the National Football League, Mike McCarthy has finished top 5 in offense 11 times. Pretty dang good. So I'm going McCarthy. But I think there are more than just those 2 options. I think there are some legitimate candidates.
There are. And as you said, it's 1 of 32. Somebody's going to want this job bad.
Thank you, Dan. I think that stuff is often, I think you're right. I think that's overrated. The whole, who's going to take this job? Plenty of people.
Only question I have is the security of taking this job.
Yeah. No, I mean, fair.
I mean, because when you're fired quickly, like Rand, I don't know if Rand Carthon's going to get another shot at GM. Good, bad, or indifferent.
Yeah, probably not.
I don't know if Coach Callahan's going to get another shot.
Probably not.
I don't know if Coach Holtz gets another shot. Bo Hardigree, how much of Bill Callahan's reputation is in the crapper right now?
Sure.
Because it's so quick and these decisions are made so fast.
We felt like with the way Iran exited that they wouldn't be able to attract a top candidate for GM, and they went out and got the guy that was seen by many as the guy in Kansas City Chiefs assistant GM Mike Bergonzi. We'll see if they can attract the guy again that's seen as the hot name in the head coaching cycle. I think the ability to work with Cam Ward matters, and I think that he has got the talent that is going to attract top-level coaching talent. Maybe I'm wrong, but I think there are coaches that will want this job. And again, like you said, even if this is at the bottom of the barrel of jobs that coaching candidates would want, it is still 1 of 32. And if you've got an opportunity to go be an NFL head coach, 9 times out of 10, you take it. Coming up, we'll get to John in the Borough. We will wrap up the show. Coming up next.
It's Ramon and Will for Volunteer Traditions, not the actual traditions, the clothing brand, the gear brand. Will, I stopped by the store in Gallatin, Tennessee. An amazing setup. Okay?
Great spot.
You want to go by and check this out is what I'm telling you, man, because everything that you think they have it plus more. If you honestly can't find your size online, they have it in store is what I'm telling you. I'm talking about caps. I'm talking about just the service in general is good. I know it's Volunteer Tradition and we got other fan bases here. You still want to go buy somebody a gift there, Will.
Volunteer Traditions, because Ramon, it's not only orange. They've got some blue. They've got TriStar, Tennessee branded stuff. The website is excellent. Go peruse their options, volunteertraditions.com. If you catch us on a Tennessee game day, you're catching us at Volunteer Traditions. They just sent by one of the new fleece crew neck sweatshirts, the fleece quarter zip. Not only is it a throwback Tennessee logo that you're going to rock, it looks good. It is so comfortable. The warm fleece material, it's soft, it's warm, it's going to keep you warm as the weather drops when you're at football games on Fridays, Saturdays, Sundays, you name it. Check them out. Gear up like a true Vol fan by going online to volunteertraditions.com.
It's Ramon Foster for All American Pest Control in Fall and Middle Tennessee. Love it. Absolutely love it, y'all. Cooler weather, football almost every day of the week, family time. What can you not love about it, all right? But you know who else loves this season? The pests, the stink bugs. I've seen them flying. They will fly directly into your face, up to your windows, your doors, in between the cracks of your doors. I absolutely despise them. But Asian lady beetles, mice, even termites don't slow down just because it's fall time. And that's why I trust All American Pest Control. Their Complete Care Max program provides maximum protection season after season with one simple plan. Listen to me. It's a peace of mind every single time. Call All American Pest Control or visit their website. It's simple, yuckbugs.com. That's yuckbugs.com. And make sure you tell them Ramon sent you.
Ramona Will, 104.5 The Zone, fueled by Scooters Coffee, wrapping up your Tuesday. Jeremy Fowler said there are 3 players he is monitoring who could be traded at the deadline by the Tennessee Titans. But first, John in the Borough gets the final call of the morning. Hey, John.
What's up, everybody? Will,
Good morning.
Ramon, real quick. Ramon, you said your birthday was January 7th.
Yes.
My wife and I will be expecting our son around that time, so here's hoping that we have another January 7th, baby.
Hey, Capricorns. We're a little stubborn.
There we go.
But we're genuine people.
So real quick, the coach that I want to see is Brian Flores. I think Brian Flores did a tremendous job down in Miami before he got word I can't say on terrestrial radio. At the end of the day, it is the Tennessee Titanic, and they are rearranging deck chairs. And Miss Amy is Cal, the guy who snagged the kid so he could hop on a lifeboat and take off while everybody else drowned. She got her stadium deal. That's all she cares about. But the other point that I thought about was I'm absolutely shocked that Vol fans haven't hit up Twitter, incensed and insulted that their great Josh Heupel hasn't been considered for the position.
No. Nobody's talking about that. His offense would not work in the NFL.
Y'all have a great day, and everybody remember, be kind, or everybody's going to think your mama's a garden tool.
There it is.
Thank you, John. Appreciate the call. Good to hear from John. I know his work schedule makes his availability to call in different, but always love hearing from him. Yeah. No, Josh Heupel's wide split offense is a college offense. He is a college coach.
Yeah, just like Lane Kiffin.
Yes, who runs the same offense.
I don't care what Jackson Dart's doing.
No, I mean, Josh Heupel's a smart enough guy. He's a good offensive mind, but no, he's a college coach. No doubt. Jeremy Fowler was on the show earlier this morning talking about 3 names that he is monitoring who could be moved by the Tennessee Titans. Here you go.
Yeah, I just think that they want to get, some decent picks where they can. They're probably going to have to resort to getting like some day 3 picks back just because they don't have like some marquee guy that they can trade and get a lot for. Jeffrey Simmons would be the one, but I was told they don't want to trade Jeffrey Simmons. I mean, you got to give the new guy something to work with, and Simmons is only 27, and he's having a great year, in great shape compared to years past. So I would be very surprised if they moved on from him, although I know teams are sort of like, hoping that the Titans would relent there, and they would love to get their hands on him. But the 3 guys I have circled for the Titans are Arden Key, Roger McCreary, and I'm drawing a blank. There's one more. I'll have to think about it. Okay. There's a 3rd guy. Oh, Chig, the tight end.
Oh.
I just think guys that are on their last year of their rookie deal that aren't in the long-term plans, I think are fair game.
Jeremy Fowler with us earlier this morning. Is that a smart way to proceed in 30 seconds, Ramon?
Everybody except for Chig on that one. Yeah.
I'm going to go opposite. I'm going to say Chig. No, actually, I agree. I think Chig, I wouldn't mind keeping around.
Yeah. You got Rodgers' replacements.
Oh, do you?
I think so, don't you?
I don't think so. I mean, can you afford to trade 2 corners? You already got rid of Brownlee. I think you'd like to keep McCreary around.
He mentioned it being day 3 compensations. I think those 2 latter dudes, Arden
Key makes sense as an older edge rusher. Roger McCreary is a guy that could get a second contract here and continue to start. Then you're left with Marcus Harris, Jalen Armour-Davis, and L'Jarius Sneed at corner. And then you got to go draft 2 corners next year or get a couple next year.
I guess the point of it all is how much are you trying to win and how much are you trying to prepare for the future.
Back at it tomorrow morning, bright and early, 6 a.m. If you tuned in for Austin Price at 8:20 today, he will join us at that time tomorrow. Rep Brian will be here. We'll talk much more about Titans and Patriots. 1 p.m. today, interim head coach Mike McCoy meets with the media. We'll learn a little bit about his changes and what to expect moving forward. That is tomorrow morning.
It's just October, y'all. But remember, your Twitter fingers and your mic is always hot.
Work. It's what we do.
It's Ramon
Part of
and
who we are. There is joy in work. And no matter what size your business is, the dedicated commercial team at Two Rivers Ford will find the work trucks and vans that keep your business moving. And Two Rivers is the only dealer that offers a 90-day free fleet management program that can help you save money on every single mile. The Commercial Vehicle Center at Two Rivers Ford. We work for you.